And it's going to be everyone in this building.
American woman.
I do like that song. I don't even know why, because they're pissing all over American women.
Right. He's just like, you're so hot. Stay away from me. You're so.
Oh, that's what it is. A positive.
Yeah.
Canadian woman.
It's weird. It does not hit the same. You're
no,
right.
it does not. Canadian woman.
Any country and then putting woman, I feel like is just.
How about this? Czechoslovakian woman.
You just Czech woman. No.
No, doesn't work. Doesn't work, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of, man, we got so much to talk about today. It's unbelievable. Some of it great, obviously. Some of it not so great. Some people acting like complete psychopaths. And politicians stabbing each other in the back right on national television, man. That was, did you guys watch any of that?
No,
I don't even get pissed off about that stuff. But yeah, it's my job to keep track of what's going on in Washington and all that stuff. These people turning on each other, stabbing each other right in the back. It was unbelievable.
I kind of love it.
You love it when they stab each other in the back?
So it's like dog eat dog, bro.
Yeah, but we don't need that, do we? How about serving the people? What about that act? That'd be a good idea.
We are like 45 steps away from that.
Yes, we are.
So it's like
you're absolutely
having
right.
them quit fighting. There's still a lot. They like don't even know where their office is.
Right. Disgusting. Why are people so disgusting?
Minnesota accidentally legalized weed.
Yeah.
Like pay more attention to your job. Like we'll start there first.
Well, that was Pat Garofalo and Ryan Winkler. Those are the two guys that got that done.
Yeah.
So the guys have been in this studio a million times so that we stirred the pot a little bit.
Hey.
And all of a sudden, say, we can put this little 5 milligram weed thing in there. All of a sudden, boom.
Right.
Let's get high.
People were quoted like, I think, did we just, and it's like, do you not know what, do you not read what you're voting on in here? Like, what do you mean, did we? Like, you should have known what you were doing.
You're 100% right about that. They actually asked, did we actually pass THC laws?
Yeah.
They didn't know.
That's wild.
Like,
do your job.
Right. Like, I'm very happy that it did get passed, but
Exactly.
like, you should have known what you were doing.
I don't know. I really, really, really wish they would get off their ass and pass gummies and tablets and things like that. You don't want our young people smoking. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, but you can't babysit that. Like, it's like telling people they can't smoke cigarettes.
That's not what I'm saying.
No,
I'm saying
agree.
The only thing they legalized was the smokable part, which they should have done the other way.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, I got you.
So pipe down.
How about pipe up?
Uncle Tommy's on the podium.
Hey, but
pipe up.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Pipe up.
You mean roll up?
Pipe it up down.
Pipe it up, roll it down, get all around.
No, honest to God, and we'll get to that story later because there are too many good things to talk about. And we got Judd Zulgad coming up in about 5-6 minutes. A lot of happiness there. So yeah, I just went through this whole deal watching people. God, human beings are weird.
They are so weird.
I was watching them yesterday during this whole vote, and they're going to oust this guy, and they're going to oust that guy, and they're going to do this, and they're going to do that, and he helped the Democrats. That's why I want to get rid of him. And then when it comes time to vote, the Democrats turned on him like there was no tomorrow. He helped us. Not one of them voted in favor of keeping him in office. Jeez. After he tried to help them.
Yeah, well,
that's politicians for you.
Yeah,
disgusting.
Yeah.
But if I had my choice at this point, then I do not obviously get a vote in the deal. But if they got to hand it off to somebody, and I'm hoping it's Tom Emmer, just because he's from Minnesota. I don't know Tom really well. I know him, but I don't know him really well. I've played golf with him before. Seems like a very nice guy, pretty even keel. And of course, he's a Minnesotan, so I'm kind of leaning that way anyway. So I'm kind of hoping that Emmer gets the job. But I couldn't look. I don't like McCarthy. I don't like Matt Gaetz. I don't like Hakeem Jeffries. I don't like these people. All they do is stand on camera and lie to your face. That's what they do.
I'd be fine not liking them. Like, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with them. But what I don't get is I have to watch the circus. Like, I would like them to just do work on their work and, like, be as boring as a DMV. Just
like it.
Get things done, sign stuff. I don't know.
Can't make money that way, though. You got to be obnoxious.
I shouldn't feel like our politicians are also recording like the next season of the American reality TV show. Like just
the American reality. You couldn't think of one.
I don't know. I was gonna say like the Real Housewives of America, or like the Real Paul, whatever. I don't know. We'll workshop a better title for next season, but
the Real World, DC,
real world politicians rule.
We will not get into it yet because we got Judd coming up in about 4 minutes. But McCarthy was ousted, if you don't know, and a lot of people are avoiding the news, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
McCarthy was ousted as House Speaker in a dramatic vote as Democrats join GOP critics. Not one Democrat voted for him, so it wasn't like this wasn't planned.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like either one of these parties. I think they're a bunch of lying scumbags. Ugh.
Yeah.
Is there anybody out there you go, hey, they're pretty decent?
I really don't think about them.
You probably should because they're your future.
Yeah, but they're also my past.
Yeah, they're also $33 trillion in debt because they're your past.
I know.
That's why you might want to pay attention to what they're doing in the future.
Can you understand where I'm coming from by it when I'm paralyzed?
No one can understand where you're coming.
Where I'm coming from. Aren't you so glad I'm back in studio? You
absolutely got to go after. I can't go after you on camera. It's just not fun.
You do though.
I do. Yes, I try.
Making fun of my wedding dress in my closet.
I did not. I thought it was the gold and black one.
It was the gold and black one.
Okay. Anyway.
Can you blame me though when you say that we're how much trillion in debt?
33 trillion.
Where I just go, I'm paralyzed by that. Like that is too much for me. Do you want me to recycle?
Right.
I don't know what's.
No. I want everybody to take a strong stance and say, "Listen, you thieving bastards, get lost."
Okay, ready? Listen, you thieving bastards.
No.
Get lost.
I'm talking about shoulder to shoulder, sister.
I'm shoulder to shoulder with you.
Big business has destroyed this planet.
Yeah.
Because all the politicians now are following the lead of big business. A lot of people in big business are the filthiest human beings. Look at that. What's his name? Taylor Banks, or what's his name? The guy that young guy, he's going to prison now.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
what
God.
the hell was the name of that again? What a filthy pig that guy was. This guy stole money so he could support his favorite politicians.
I forget his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Matt Taylor Gates or something like that. It's some damn name. I don't know what his name is. But yeah, I would just like to see maybe trying to work together, because already, even though in this case, the Democrats and the Republicans did work together hard enough to get rid of McCarthy. Mm-hmm. Once he was gone, now they hate each other again.
Yeah.
They were already on TV this morning talking about what this party needs to understand is we're doing it the right way. They're right back to arguing.
Yeah.
Once they got together on one thing and lied about that too, by the way. They said they supported him and they didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Does it bother me? No. I just find it disgusting.
Yeah.
And I find it disgusting that the local news does not report very important stories. And I really wish, just because it makes you look bad politically, you still have to do your job.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
So I don't know. Just get off your ass. Stop being so stupid and lazy. How about that?
Well, let's just ask for one of those things, and then we can eventually ask for the other. Because I think that's aggressive to change your whole lifestyle.
I did.
Yeah, well.
I said, yes, I'll work with horrible people.
Were you ever stupid? So you'll never admit that. You're never going to admit that.
I remember I was in the womb going, when do I get out?
I need to break out of this. Were you ever lazy?
No. Oh, God, no. Me lazy? No.
Yeah.
I started working when I was 11 years old. I literally, when I was 7 years old, decided I am not going to live like this the rest of my life.
Yeah.
No way. Some nut job of a dad. My mother working 900 hours a day. So I got a job at 11 years old. I was a janitor.
That's insane.
I
look at my 13-year-old nephew and I go, there's no way he could be a janitor.
Well, most people know, yeah.
Right. Not good at much when it comes to or being somewhere on time or any of that stuff.
I can't get him to clean his own room.
Yeah,
I know. Up some office building.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Although there was one part of it. And my first janitor job was at a building. Where the hell would it be from here? Just kind of, where the car dealership is right down here on the west side of 100. It's that building right next to it. It used to be Diatine was the name of the building. I don't know what it is now, but it was that building. And I had one of those vacuums you carried on your back.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hell it was, how it was designed, but every time that hose, the metal hose, the thing that every time it touched metal, I'd get a shock like a son of a bitch.
Maybe that's what happened to you.
My brain got fried. That's exactly what it is. We finally figured it out after all this.
Give yourself shock therapy at 11 years old.
That's exactly what. God, but honest to God, I finally literally had to start wearing like rubber gloves.
Yeah.
So I couldn't at least feel it. You could still feel it hit the glove, but you couldn't feel it inside.
It's got to be some child labor laws that were.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of child labor laws.
Equipment. You're 11 years old. Did you have like a supervisor you hear in the middle of the night? Like, what were your hours?
Yeah, he was Polish though, so he hadn't.
No.
See, I do that to Bilski all the time. He's a Polak, so he didn't know what he was doing.
Not Strovia.
Strovia, baby.
There you go.
I love that. Bilski, I love picking on Bilski about everything. Let me put it that way. I haven't talked to Bilski in a couple of weeks. What is he hiding?
Yeah, he texted me the other day and he goes, "I've been avoiding Tom," and I said, "Girl."
You called Bilski girl?
So we're gonna text
that from now on.
We're gonna have a textual relationship. I can call you girl.
I suppose that's probably true. So, any other big stories right now? We're going to get to sports in a couple of minutes, which that's a huge story. Obviously, I don't want to get
dying to talk about. We got to get Judd in here.
As soon as Judd pops on, I think he's popping on right now, baby.
Chomping at the bit.
I'm here.
Popping on right now. What's happening, Pally?
How about that yesterday, huh? What a ball game.
Do the music.
Can I hear it?
Where's the Brittany?
There it is.
Yeah, baby.
Over there.
What do you need?
Homer Hanky. Where is it?
Homer Hanky,
I was at
baby.
the game, Judd.
Oh, beautiful.
I was shouting, "Let's go Twins. We believe." I'm on the
So you were there, Tevin.
I was there. I was there to witness history.
Do you guys want to relive it for a moment?
Oh, I'd love to.
Do we want to relive it?
Love it.
Let's relive it. Not for the first time.
Ball right side, diving stop Solano. To his feet, feeds Duran. Steps on the bag, and the Twins win the game.
Listen to the
The
crowd.
Minnesota Twins beat the Blue Jays 3-1. Twins win. Twins win. The Minnesota Twins win a playoff game.
Woo!
A playoff game. I love it. In 18 years, correct, Judd?
19 years.
19 years. They
First-
just said 18 on TV last night. I thought it was 19.
18 games, 19 years. And actually, how about this? They hadn't won a home playoff game since 2002, game one of the ALCS against the Angels at the Metrodome.
All right. So 19 years ago,
Yep.
it all started, and then it went on for a while. And I haven't done anything, and I said, I'm never going to do this again until the Twins win a playoff game. So 19 years later, put the light, happy music back up, because this is a big moment for me. It has been at least 15 years since I've done this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
baby. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Rocking the
My
Twins hat.
Twins. I got my Twins hat. Oh, it still fits too.
Yeah, where were you hiding that? That's
Back
Back like I
impressive.
never left.
That looks nice, Tom.
I love it, man.
It's not half bad.
I'm telling you, Judd, this was so. There is no bigger Twins fan than me. I know I bitch about them a lot because I love them so much. It's kind of like Catherine being married to me. She complains a lot, but it's because she loves me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and you know,
Love it.
you're adorable and a lovable guy, but I mean sometimes you drive her crazy, much like the
Yes,
Twins
I do.
drive you crazy.
Yes, that's true too. They drive me nuts, and it was so wonderful because for a moment there, I was like, oh, and they're not going to cave in the ninth inning, are they? They're not going to do that, are they? But they didn't.
Can we talk about, I mean, a few things, but Royce Lewis, okay?
Oh gosh.
How Puckett-like was that performance? Because, you know, they didn't, I mean, he drove in all three runs with 2 home runs. It's not like the bats exploded.
No.
But how nice is it to have a player who loves the pressure? Loves the pressure.
Look, this is a huge deal for me. I understand that I'm, at a point in my life, I shouldn't care as much as I do, but I have since I was 9 years old, and I'm never going to stop caring about my Twins. I love the Twins. You can tell I love the Twins because I bitch about them all the time. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't complain about you, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
If I say nice shirt, dumbass, that means I like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's all life's supposed to be. I know it's kind of maybe lame for some people, but I am very, very happy and excited about this because they could have lost that game a couple of times and they didn't.
Yeah, well, they had the robbed home run that almost turned the entire game upside down. But when kind of Judd, to your point with Royce Lewis, like his first at bat hits the home run, like the whole entire crowd goes crazy. MVP chants start raining down. He gets up for his second at bat, and the people sitting behind me, one of the guys goes, "Wouldn't it be cool if like his first 2 at bats he hit a home run and the next pitch just ding gone?" And it was absolute pandemonium in the stadium on his second home run.
There were 2 guys. So he joins 2 players who have previously hit 2 home runs in their first 2 playoff at bats. The first, Gary Gaetti in 87, game 1 of the ALCS against Doyle Alexander at the Metrodome.
God, I love that.
So that's really, really cool. And I also, Tevin's right. The crowd played a huge role. That's as loud. And again, you know what? If you give fans in this town something to cheer about, they are really, really engaged and fun. And I keep, the frustrating thing is, well, please make noise. You're not making enough noise. Or in the case of the Vikings, don't make too much noise because the offense is trying to work. But that yesterday was great. And I've heard from people like Tevin who were in the stands, and it makes sense because the secondary market on the tickets was so cheap, like $4, $10, that it was a really young crowd. Yeah. And that's why it was not like a real a bunch of longtime Twins fans, adults. It was literally people who have probably never seen a Twins playoff win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a definite possibility. And like I said, it's that was a very impressive win to me because there were a couple of times, as I said, they could have caved and lost that game, and they didn't. And that catch that Tevin was just talking about was fantastic.
Michael A. Taylor made a diving catch early in the game, coming in, which was fantastic. And the catch on the Matt Chapman ball on, I think it was the only pitch that Varland threw out of the bullpen, saved 2 runs. It's tied if he doesn't make that catch because Kevin Kiermaier's at first base, and Kevin Kiermaier is really fast. And how about the Carlos Correa play, the heads up play?
I know.
You talk about where the third baseman missed it and he came over and oh yeah, that like seeing the guy round third, it looked like he kind of hesitated a little bit, and then it looked like, okay, this is a typical Minnesota error that's about to happen. And then like you're saying, Correa came over and just saved the day.
You know what I loved about that too? Jeffers didn't let that boy get anywhere near the plate when he was trying to score.
And so I was wondering, because I'm with you, okay, and I love that play, and I love nothing more than a good blocking of the plate, but it's now can be challenged if you don't give the runner a lane. And I'm like, why didn't the Blue Jays challenge it? So I looked it up this morning, and here's why. On an infield play like that, you're allowed to block the plate because it's a bang bang play. So basically the philosophy is if you set up if the ball goes to the outfield, the catcher can be cognizant of where he is at. On that play, it's so quick and a bang bang play that the catcher, it's a reactive play, and that's why. But that play was, I mean, it's the first game of a wild card series, so it doesn't probably join like the importance, but that's one of the best defensive fielding plays I've seen from a Twin in the playoffs.
No doubt. I thought it was very, very impressive. And for the very same reasons you just did, there are times you can do it, times you can't do it. Jeffers, I like it when people on the field are thinking about, well, in a bang, bang play, what are my options? But he knew ahead of time what his options were if that was going to. He saw that in advance and knew he could block the play. I love that.
Yeah. Yes. And plus, you know what? These are well-paid adults. If there's a collision at the plate, it's fun. Like, that's my thing. It's fun. They're not little. You know what? I am all for protecting little leaguers, Babe Ruth kids, high school kids. But like, that play was fun to watch. And Tom, we've seen some good to really good fielding shortstops here, but we've also seen some bad ones, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I have, as bad as Correa was at the plate this season, the one thing I have pounded the drum about is don't take what he does in the field for granted.
Yeah.
Because it is so much fun to watch. And honestly, since you started to watch this team at the age of 9, how many Twins shortstops make that play? Greg Gagne,
maybe,
perhaps, maybe, but not many.
Maybe Zoilo back in the day, baby.
Oh, Zoilo
65
MVP. Yeah.
You know what's so great? MVP of the 65 World Series. You know what he did in the offseason? He was a baggage handler at the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport because he didn't even make enough money.
Jeez. Wow.
As the MVP, for Christ's sake. I mean, think about that.
I think at that point, didn't they all have some type of job?
Absolutely.
In the winter?
Bob Allison was a car salesman on the north side for a while. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah, they all had jobs. Absolutely, they did. It was
car salesman.
Car salesman. Exactly.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine like Carlos Correa? Okay, yeah, playoffs are done. Got to go to my job as a car salesman.
I can get you a smack and deal on a new Hyundai.
Yeah, smack and deal, baby. That's exactly right. A smack and deal. I don't know. I'm very, very happy about this whole situation. My Minnesota Twins, after all those years, that was 19 years of misery.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just incredible to think that a franchise, I mean, it was I think it probably won't be broken. It is a North American sports record.
Oh yeah. It's any major sport too.
Yes.
As you just said, sports record, not baseball, sports.
No, North American. And it might be world. I mean, it strikes me as we probably just have not scanned the entire globe. But my guess is it is a world record that won't be broken.
Never.
So that was great. Fans were absolutely outstanding. I will say this from a team standpoint, end it today.
I love it. I'm going to the game today. I'll be at the game today.
Will you really? Okay. Awesome. Where?
I don't know. Telling you.
Give us
Some good seats. Come on.
Yes.
I'll come by and say hi. Text me.
I will text you where I'll be. Absolutely. Catherine's coming too, so that'll be great.
Oh, awesome.
But think about this for a second. This is a mathematical equation. How are you, for all those years, good enough to make the playoffs, but not good enough to win one game? How in the hell can you make the playoffs and never win for 19 years? Not one game.
It's mathematically impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. Baseball and hockey are the two sports where losing, like, it's one thing to not win a series. That's difficult in and of itself, but to lose every game. Football and basketball are a little bit more like, if you're just not as good, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
But baseball, it's because it's pitching, it's things like that. Yeah. So yes, it is improbable. And I am happy for a generation, which is, frightening to say, but a generation of Twins fans who had never experienced that. We did a post-game show yesterday and had people coming on who were basically saying, I was born in 2000. I don't remember this feeling.
Yep.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Oh, I bet that's true. Yeah, you can.
Can you, Brittany?
I have not in my lifetime.
Hey. Because she's a loser. That's what you mean.
I really thought you were going to say woman there.
Oh, no. I've got a woman at home who would not appreciate that.
Well, no, so I live pretty close to the stadium, and as we're walking out, fans are high-fiving, cars are driving by, honking the horn. I was like, was this the World Series? Did I miss something? But it was people were riding bikes that weren't at the game, and they're like, hey, did they win? Is the game over? Did they win? We won! Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So highly recommend. As you were saying, to the secondary market, I think I went on Game Time and got my tickets. It was $34 to get in for me and my girlfriend, and it's a great time.
That's awesome.
So, if there's a major championship that ever is won here, it's gonna be a war zone downtown.
Oh yeah. It was back in '87 and '91, especially '87.
Oh, I believe it.
That parade. That parade. How fun was that, Tom?
Don't bring that up. They kicked me out of the parade.
He was supposed to be in the parade, and
WCCO said, no, we do the games. He can't be in it.
I never knew this story.
Oh, yeah. I was supposed to be in the parade, and they wouldn't let me do it.
And like your friends like Kent didn't say bleep them, and
I'll say there was nobody that got beat up. I would have
thought Herbeck would have been like, "Hey, Bernard's in this thing. We don't give a f what WCCO thinks."
I mean, it's a parade. Who kicks people out of a parade?
Right. Like, if the Vikings won the Super Bowl, I'm in that parade, shirtless, acting a fool, like swinging a Vikings towel over my head.
Full Ferris Bueller on it. You're in one way or another.
I can't wait to watch that and then like every year play.
Tevin will be what Tevin just said. If the Vikings win a Super Bowl, that will be sedate. That's the one parade. I don't know. I think this town would shut down for at least a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
If the Vikings won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
We're going to be talking more about this tomorrow, Buster. You're not getting off from one day talking about my lovely Minnesota Twins.
Love to hear it, man. Love to hear it.
I got to bring home I got to wear my hats. I got to bring home a winner. Now it's on me.
It's on, obviously.
I did my part.
I know. Yeah, you did.
I did my part.
You did your part. Judd, we'll talk to you tomorrow, pal.
Sounds good.
Bye, Judd.
See y'all later. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Score North, Judd Zolgad. We'll take a break, be right back. And big shot. What's his name again?
Chris Yeager.
Oh, Chris Yeager. That's his name. Let's take a second to talk about my bank, North American Banking Company. You've heard me talking about them for a long time now. When they opened in 1998, they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers where you know your banker and they know you. Well, a lot has changed since 1998. This commitment to being a true community bank in the Twin Cities has not. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my bankers at North American Banking Company? Go to nabankco.com or stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw & Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
And that's why I've never liked Brittany.
And that's...
Oh, wait a minute. Were we on the air?
Probably true.
Chris Eggert made a face. I love that face. That was a shocked face. Ooh, look at that. He's good at that.
He's so...
I'm not... Does my mic work today so I don't have to mime my entire...
Your voice sounds deeper, man.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm a TV reporter and an anchor.
Yeah, I've got the pipes. No doubt about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, news brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Chris Eggert with us. All right, the only news I want to hear is, did your team win or lose, baby?
Well, congratulations to Tevin, by the way. It sounds like your presence at the game yesterday propelled the Twins to
yes,
playoff.
I say we because I'm now an official member of the Twins Nation.
Nice.
We were 0-18. All it took was getting one specific black person into the audience, and we were able to get a win. So you're welcome, Twins fans. Don't blame me if we lose today.
Because Tom's going.
Yeah, Tom will be there.
I'm going to the game today, so if they lose, it's all on me like the other 18, 19 years.
That's a good hat.
I put this hat on for the first time in 19 years. Once they didn't win a game, I said, I'm not wearing a Twins hat again until they win one playoff game. And then they lost for like 14 more years. Well, I didn't always appear in the playoffs, but
Yeah, right.
So it's great to be wearing it looks brand new. This hat is like literally about 25 years old, and it looks they never wore it.
It hasn't gotten much use for the last 20 years, but by gum, maybe we'll get a couple weeks out of her this year.
I swear to God, it's just one of my favorite things since I was a little boy. I love my Minnesota Twins. I guess I probably could say I might be their biggest fan, but a lot of people think that, I suppose.
I was pleasantly surprised yesterday to see just out and about at Target and at the grocery store and people wearing Twins gear.
Love it.
And that says a lot about the community, and it says a lot about how hungry we are for some kind of a winner. So I thought it was pretty cool. I went to my local brewery to do a little work and watch the game at the same time. And
work. Most people work from a coffee shop.
Well,
good shot.
I work mornings, Tevin. So really, but there were a ton of people in the brewery watching the game, and people dressed in Twins gear. And I don't know, it's fun. It's fun when you feel like you've got a shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no question about it. This is. I tell you, Royce Lewis, this guy, they didn't even know if he's even going to make the squad.
What a stud. Oh, my God.
Unbelievable. He was hurt pretty badly, I guess.
Yeah, he didn't look hurt. That's
no,
for certain out there. I hate to see him fully healthy.
Yeah, right.
So great. His mother, they didn't show his mother and father that I saw anyway, but the last time they were at the game, they went and stands and talked to his parents, which I thought was terrific. Very loving, very giving parents. You could tell they were very, very proud of their boy.
I just saw some video on the old interwebs the other day. I can't remember what it was, but they showed a dad in the stands, and his son was making his first major league start or something or other, and they had a camera trained in on the dad, and the dad was crying the whole time.
I know. Isn't that great?
That's making me and I'm dead inside.
I'm dead inside.
It was the coolest thing. So I love when they talk to the parents that.
Yep.
Behind every athlete, or a lot of them, I won't say every athlete, because some of these guys had to earn it all on their own, but a lot of times there's parents who are behind them who have been there every step of the way and have been driving them to baseball practice for the last, ever since they were in first grade. And so, yeah, that's cool. I'm glad they talked to the parents.
Magnificent. Yeah. The thing started out, of course, a little nervous before the game started, because I said, please don't do this to me again. And if you lose the first game, could you please win the next two? So now 1 out of 2, we got a 50-50 chance of making the playoffs.
I don't know. You know how you don't even want to set yourself up to be excited about it either, because it's just I kind of don't even want to watch today because
it's 3:40 start again, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Going to be a different day at the ballpark for you today, Tommy. Yesterday, Tevin, it was probably hot as hell, right? And today it's going to be a whole different deal.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It did start to rain a little bit. Yeah. And so because I could never take anything serious, I'm like, it would be nice if we had the Metrodome back so we wouldn't get rained on today.
Oh, yeah. Such a wonderful baseball stadium.
It's like a microwave.
Hey, they won 2 World Series in that building, so I love it.
I missed the trash bag in the outfield. That was the best.
It was indeed. Yeah, it's just very, very exciting to have a team step up, particularly in a year when the Vikings absolutely suck. So it does help out. And I won't even mention the other two sports we have in town because they've never won a damn thing. Which I still don't understand. How you can be around for 40 years and never win one title? How is that even possible?
You're talking about the Wolves?
Wolves, the Timberwolves, and the
Wild.
The Wild, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we throw the Vikings in there for.
And the Vikings have never won
franchises that have
anything.
Never won.
They've never won. What the hell's going on? But at least the Gophers, they won the national championship in 1960. So that was
just a couple of years back.
I remember that.
60 or 61. I can't remember if it was 60 or 61.
Hey, a lot of people are pretty excited about the Timberwolves this year, and they haven't even. I know they haven't even been around for 40 years. I know that, but
Tom goes, oh no.
Anthony Edwards is going to be good if we can get Carl Anthony Towns to stay healthy. Rudy to play a little bit better. Like, we have a nice little squad. We can make some noise.
I looked at that squad many times and went, hey, this could be a pretty good year. That team sucks.
That team sucks.
No, we get like a 4 or 5 seed and we'll be all right.
I'm bullish on them this year. That's
okay, good. I'll follow you. I'll follow your lead.
Yep.
Because you played basketball.
I did. And listen, when you want to think of an elite basketball mind.
I told you about my one season as a basketball player, didn't I?
I think so.
When I was in 7th grade at St. Anne's. I might have been in 8th grade by then. I was like 6'1" and weighed about 200 pounds in 7th grade. So my job was to go in and hang all over their center for as long as I could and make him tired as a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
When Jim Brown, our center, came in, he just crushed him. It was hilarious.
That's an important role, man.
That hang on people. They never let me touch the ball. I did notice that.
Right. You start to shoot it and everybody's like, no,
Tom Hicks.
Pass the ball.
Don't do it.
Hey, every team needs a Dennis Rodman. You look at any team that's been successful over the last several years, whether it's what's his name from Golden State?
Draymond Green.
Yeah, whether it's Draymond Green, whether it's somebody like that, somebody who's just big, strong, badass, who will go in and do the dirty work that a lot of other people won't do. So, Tom, I think you should have stuck with that.
Maybe I should have. I probably should have done that. Maybe I should start watching some more Wolves and Wild. I've known a lot of hockey players, North Stars and Wild. Not so many Wild players, some. But I knew a lot of North Stars back in the day. Hockey players are decent people. They really are nice people.
Yeah, and a lot of the dudes stick around here and they live here and they raise their families here. And I mean, the Wild are definitely do, but I haven't heard a lot of I haven't heard much about them either way. I think that they think they're kind of in a rebuild mode a little bit again this year, but I don't know. They got Kirill to thrill Kaprizov, and that dude he's fun to watch. So
yeah. Well, like I said, I hope every year that the Wild wins the championship, that the Wolves win, the Twins, the Vikings, the Gophers. I mean, not a lot of winning going on lately.
No, that's true.
Maybe today or maybe yesterday was the start of something new.
The luck's got to turn around at some point, right?
I would think so. After in the Gophers case, 63 years, you might want to turn around a little bit.
I was at the Gophers game on I was there Saturday, and actually I ran into Judd and I ran into Phil at the game, and we raised a glass and had a nice little chat. But it's just too bad because the Gophers, the fans the kids who are there are really into it. Yeah. But it's homecoming and they can't fill this, the grandstands weren't filled up. Like there were a lot of empty seats there, which is too bad. It was a beautiful day. But I think it's particularly hard for the Gophers to draw a crowd when they've had so success. And you're right in the middle of the Twin Cities. Like there are a lot of options for people.
Yeah, there are.
And you can't say that like in Lincoln, Nebraska. Like, you know what? There's 90,000 people at every Nebraska game, whether they're good or bad, because there's nothing else going on in Lincoln, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's, it is a tough, the Gophers have a situation there that's not, there's not very many comparable ones in college that are in big cities like this.
You just gave me one of my favorite memories in life. I had a friend named Roger Agnew, went to Brown Institute with him. And Roger's family owned a radio station in Lincoln, Nebraska, KFMQ radio, right? So he said, hey, why don't you come down and hang out with us for a while? And, you can come in when I'm doing my shift and blah, 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 and all the rest of it, that whole deal. So I land at the airport and I'm driving out to the radio station, and I had to drive past the Nebraska, the Cornhuskers Stadium.
Memorial Stadium.
I had to drive right past it to get to Roger. As I'm going by, after about 3 of them, I began to count. I don't know how they got there or whose they were, but there were 26 Trans Ams parked next to that building.
Dang.
26 Trans Ams. I'm like, how did that happen? Oh, maybe somebody might be because that was totally against the rules back then.
Oh,
for sure. That was
probably passed about 26 violations.
Absolutely. I'm like, they didn't even try to hide it though. That's the amazing thing. I mean, they were a great team back then.
Were they like Husker red and
oh yeah. It was like, really?
And the Trans Am, I believe it was a Trans Am specifically that got SMU in trouble.
I think it was.
Got them the death penalty back in the day. So yeah, that was the car that raised some red flags. Yes.
Pissing off everybody. But no, it all worked out in the end, right?
Yeah, well, it's changed. I mean, those rules have changed a lot. That's for sure. I've got a son who is playing. Not a son. My buddy from college has a son who's playing for Iowa right now, and the kid's a stud, and he's gonna, for sure, play pro someday. Like, he's a really good player. I saw him post a picture on Instagram the other day, standing next to a brand new pickup truck.
Uh-oh.
But
that's do that now, though.
They can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that now.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God, wow. Just seeing the kid like right there, I was like, whoa, look at that. That's a very expensive pickup truck behind him right
Where'd
there.
that come from?
I'm not mad at him.
No, it's not against the rules anymore. So what the hell? It all works out in the end. I guess it does. And is there any lead story this morning? I was kind of looking at the lead stories, and there's not a lot of stuff you'd even want to talk about. Cost to renovate Governor Summit Avenue residence soars to $13 million.
Yeah, it went up
Holy
like
henna.
$6 million or something from what they first projected. Imagine that a government-run project is over budget. I can't believe
What?
it.
Well, we're going to talk to Josh Arnold in about a half an hour about the fact that we're $33 trillion in debt. What are we going to do about that?
Yeah.
Because it's going to get worse. These guys have no idea what the hell they're doing.
I just read, well, obviously we're talking about the McCarthy thing a lot this morning. There was a shooting out in Baltimore where 5 students were. So we had that too. So those are kind of our big stories today. But right before I ran in here, I was just reading it was an opinion piece in The Hill, which is political site. And he had a really interesting piece about if Trump goes down, how he'll take Biden with him. And it could like completely upset what everybody sort of assumes will be Trump versus Biden for the election. And basically the kind of the gist of the story was that if Trump ends up getting so pulled down into all the legal things he's got going right now, that he would broker a deal to like basically make Tim Scott the main candidate for the Republicans.
Oh, okay.
And that if Biden was already polling terribly, but when he's running against Trump, it's kind of like you're comparing those two, and that's what the voters would have to choose from.
Right.
So if it ended up being Tim Scott versus Joe Biden, basically the implication in the article, and again, it was an opinion piece, but I had never really thought about it. It's like Biden will go down in flames because he can't compete with somebody who's younger and has different ideas, and the Democrats aren't really all that hot on him anyway. So that was an interesting thought on that I hadn't really, given much contemplation to.
Oh, Biden has to be rooting for Trump to run.
Yeah.
Like, I've been thinking about that. Like, because it just seems like that would be an easier win than anybody else.
Oh, I don't know about that anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to vote for either one of them. So I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't know if either one of these guys could get elected president again.
Yeah, but I think if the American public is put in the situation where you have to pick between one or the other, I think Trump would probably win, but I think Biden would have a better chance of going up against Trump, a potential like convicted felon, than a younger person that can actually like process thoughts and ideas much quicker than Biden can.
Now, Chris, I know you got to go, but I just want to ask you one more thing. We now, for the first time in history, have kicked out a Speaker of the House. That's never happened before.
No. So nobody really, nobody really, I mean, nobody really quite knows what's going to happen next. We did learn this morning that you don't have to be a member of the House to actually become the Speaker of the House.
What?
Which is weird. Yeah.
Do they want me?
It's never happened.
Great idea.
It's never happened before, but Brittany, yes, I'm saying there's a chance.
Cool. I'll put on a tie.
That would be phenomenal. You see 400 people going, pay attention. That would be wonderful.
I say, what?
What? I can't hear you.
No, I'm the Speaker of the House, not the listener of the House.
I'm saying they're telling you to pay attention.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
You have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
I'm agreeing that like I wouldn't have to because I'm the Speaker.
Oh, okay.
Not the.
I had a BLT this morning. It was great.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Yeah, it's Brittany.
Love it.
All right, Chris. Well, we got about 5 people in our government now that are either on trial or going to prison.
Yeah, yep.
Wonderful.
It's kind of what we all. Well, you know how these things go. I would like to, before I go, issue a formal retraction for a statement that I made yesterday on the podcast. I mistakenly identified the cheese used in my mother's Spam and pea casserole. She was adamant that I explain that we did not accept government cheese and that it was potatoes that were the other primary ingredient to the Spam pea casserole. So
that's a great story. That's a great story. And I'll tell you why I love that so much. Because my grandma Minnie, when she was retired, got government funded foods.
Mm-hmm.
They came in black and yellow containers, every one of them. And I am not kidding you. Grandma, why is there a 55-gallon drum out in your hallway? Oh, that's the cheese they sent. I'm like, geez, these barrels were huge.
Yeah, I remember seeing those boxes and they're like,
they were gigantic.
Anyway,
their cheese.
Apparently, Mom is listening to the podcast now, Tom. So there you go.
We love you, Mrs. Eggert.
Yeah.
Nice job. Why don't you have better kids next time?
Yeah, we're on your side about this. I wasn't here yesterday, but screw Chris.
Yeah, that's fine. Screw me. I'm fair. I'm good with that.
All right, Pally. We'll talk to you later on tomorrow.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a good day.
Chris Eggert, Channel 5 Eyewitness News, ladies and gentlemen. News brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. What a great report. A hell of a report from Chrissy.
He really stepped it up.
Best report he's done today.
Just to kick things off. That is so funny, though. I'm looking at this again. We're talking to him. You got both guys who are going to run for president under investigation right now. One of them's being charged with several crimes. One of them could be charged with several crimes. The Speaker of the House gets kicked out. We got all these senators that might go to prison. Like, Jesus, what do we turn into, Russia here?
Yeah, it's pretty much a dumpster fire.
It is. There's no doubt about it. We will take a break. Be right back in a couple minutes, ladies and gentlemen. You all have helped support MyPillow and their employees in these tough economic times. Mike Lindell knows this and continues to give back to listeners with deals on his most popular products. You've heard me recently speak about the My Slippers, the Giza Sheets, MyPillow 2.0, and more. Great news. The MyPillow 6-pack bath towel sets are back in stock. The proprietary technology makes them extremely absorbent, which we love. Yet still provides that soft feel you look for in a towel. The set comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Regular price is $79.98, and for a limited time, you can get this 6-pack towel set for only $39.99 with promo code TOM. That's a 50% savings. So go to MyPillow.com, use promo code TOM, and save 50% on the MyPillow 6-pack towel sets. That is just $39.99 for a set. This deal will not last long. Enter promo code TOM for this special and many more.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
I love the fact that you need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful. someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Are we ever?
A lot of people pay attention when we're on the air. I don't know if you know that or not.
Oh my God, we're on the air?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. AJ, what can I do?
AJ,
I'm looking at the Josh Arnold ad.
What can I do?
I was writing back listeners.
There are only so many things that I can do to alert people when we have live reads.
He's like waving his hand.
You know what I love? I'm out walking, and I knew when to get back. And you two, I get back, and I turn the mics come on, and you're like, so then I poked him right in the tit.
Whoa, whoa,
we were telling everybody that the show is now on YouTube every day as well.
I was literally writing back.
Oh, good.
And it's on and follow us on Instagram.
And Tom, if you look under the 845 spots, what's that third one?
I think it says Saber live ad, I think.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that I put that on there.
Yeah,
Okay,
let me do that for you.
Not a problem. I'm gonna write this listener back.
Yeah, nice try. I'm so happy to welcome back our longtime friend, Saber Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to the show. I've known Steve, the owner, for many years, and I completely trust Saber to keep my house comfortable. Why? Saber does everything the right way, and they always put the customer first. I love the team at Saber because their service experts are experienced NATE certified technicians. They're not salespeople. Their pricing is completely upfront, and they fix only what needs to be fixed, nothing more. Saber is dedicated to giving customers what they need when they need it and at the fair price. I've used them many, many times to do a great job. Keeping your family safe, comfortable, without breaking the bank, give Saber Heating and Air Conditioning a try. I know they'll take care of you just like they've taken care of me and my family. Whether you need a new Bryant furnace or air conditioner replaced or just simply need a service call to get you going again, go to saberheating.com. That's SABRE heating.com. Saber and Bryant, whatever it takes. Hey, look, nobody's talking. How did that happen?
You think it's just what I needed?
Oh, good. And nobody's singing either.
Oh, good.
They're trying.
Hey, Dan, if I wrote you back, you were the email I got in trouble for. You should be really lucky. But you can check us out on YouTube. I did write you back. You're welcome.
What was the question?
He wrote.
What is that noise?
I don't know.
I've been hearing it.
I think it has to do with like the way that the computers and the mics are all set up in there. So if you move some stuff around, that should
let me
go away.
move this toward me a little bit and away from the poisonous Brittany. Oh, it was Brittany.
Well, that's when I turn off Tevin and Brittany. So
wait, turn off Tevin. Now turn off mine.
Wait, now turn off Brittany's.
It's already off.
All right, perfect. Just leave it
So
off
it
for the
is
rest of the
yours.
show.
Tevin.
It's Tevin causing trouble.
Tevin.
I've heard about with people like you.
I do need my mic on at some point. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Dan wrote, "How can we watch the podcast? I love your show, and I want to be able to watch you guys." And I said, "Hey, Dan, no problem. We're on YouTube. We aren't
We're back at
live,
it.
but you can watch us after."
Why are we not live? I've never understood that either.
We could go live if you would like.
Would you get that mic fixed? Sounds
No,
terrible.
Move it away from the computer. Now, do something.
Tevin, just switch mics.
Yeah. Put me on. 6. Here we go.
Six.
Well, move it
hot
closer to
six.
you and get it up. Don't set it on the flag.
Wait, turn the mic off.
Oh,
This
don't
is
set
a
it on the
nightmare.
twins'
This is a-
hanky.
This is a pure nightmare right now.
No, this is what
it's just what I needed.
this is what radio's really and podcasting's really all about. Is all this bullshit behind the scenes. There's a lot of it.
Everyone on the YouTube got to see my crotch for a while. You're
Oh
welcome.
my God. And you have a little baby at home just going, my
Guess where
mother's
she
so
came?
healthy."
Guess where she came from?
Hopefully a decent home.
Came from my crotch, Tom.
Oh my God. She's been thinking about crotches all morning long.
Yeah, because you're talking about people rubbing up against crotches this morning.
Well, that was even Monday when she was talking about her front butt.
I know.
I was devaluing my front butt, which listeners have written in and said your front butt is at least 30,000.
I think I missed this conversation.
We're talking about somebody getting a hardcore wedgie on a slide, and they want $50,000 for the surgery on their front butt.
Yeah.
And I just declared mine. I didn't put any value on her front butt.
Well, yeah.
I said mine was not worth $50,000 in any condition.
Yeah, and if you want to relive Brittany talking about her front butt, you can go to our Instagram page because I cut it out and made it a clip, so that way everybody.
Tevin, I'm really glad that'll be around for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Why did I end up working here? What did I ever do?
It's why you're working here. It's called the Tom Barnard Show.
I know, but I didn't tell them it was okay to call it that.
Okay.
Get my name off of there.
Welcome to the Tevin and Brittany Show.
There you go.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, just the show.
Just the show. Oh, there are people that tried that, by the way.
Really?
Over the year. We just call them our show, the show. And people realize it's the only place to come. Didn't work at all.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean the show?
Right.
There's lots of shows. So what the hell? Just looking at the the highlights and the headlines and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just none of it's good. So
We do have a lot of good ones on the Tom's news stories.
all right, well, I'll go there then.
Tevin or AJ put up a bunch. Maybe Tevin did too, but I know AJ did.
All right, let me click on that right now and see what you're talking about. Yeah, because everything's about people getting fired or going to get fired or they got to go to court and they're going to go to prison. It's like, it just gets too negative.
I'm with you.
Got a bunch of filthy politicians.
Filthy.
You know what I'm saying?
Animals.
Most of these stories are really old.
Oh.
Like the one about Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Well,
that story's
skip
about
the
a week.
first one then.
It's about a week old,
Look,
isn't it?
I deleted it.
I understand what you're saying. She got it. Which one do you want me to go with?
Let's do the alert. I didn't know about this till today. It's the second one that I deleted the first one. So why everyone's phone will receive an alert at 1:20 today.
Oh yeah, why would they do that?
I don't know, but it's good to know.
Yeah, let us know what the situation is. So when we do get the alerts, like what the hell is it doing that for? I said, well, yeah, that is true. Don't ever say that again. Now she thinks she's working at a rap station.
Word up.
True that.
Yeah, word up, homie.
Remember when Tevin's mic was the problem?
All right, now you're the problem.
Yeah, it's moved on to different problematic territory.
It's contagious.
It is indeed. Why everyone's phone will alarm at 2:20 p.m. Eastern time today. That's 1:20, of course, Minnesota time. Why is it going to happen? If you hear a screeching alert go off on your cell phone and everyone else's cell phone today at 1:20, don't panic. The federal government said it will conduct on Wednesday afternoon a nationwide test of its emergency alert system and wireless emergency alerts. The EAS portion of the test will send an emergency alert to all radios and televisions, while the WEA portion of the test will direct alerts to all consumer cell phones. The purpose of the October 4th test is to ensure that the systems continue to be effective means of warning the public about emergencies, particularly those on the national level. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, as we call it.
We talk about it so much that we gotta call it FEMA.
We got to call it FEMA, which is conducting the test in coordination with the Federal Communications Commission. They said that in a statement. I probably, if I were them, maybe they do in the second part here. How long is it going to last? Did they ever mention that in the story anywhere?
I didn't see that part.
I don't either.
It only should last you should be able to immediately silence it if you want to.
Yeah.
But it's going to be when you get an Amber Alert.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's similar thing. It's just everybody across the nation is going to get this at 1:20 today, and it's going to there's going to be a loud alarm. It's mandatory that every 3 years they do something of this just to make sure it works.
It says, meanwhile, all radios and televisions will also broadcast a test emergency. Well, the problem is that nobody listens to the radio or watches TV anymore, so nobody's going to hear it.
You know where you're not going to hear that?
Where?
On this show, because it's a podcast.
Yeah. Take that, FEMA. Sorry, FEMA.
You can't hold us down.
You can't hold us down. You're trying to come for us.
They're trying to come for us.
We're
yes.
above the law.
Yes. Meanwhile, all radios and televisions will also broadcast a test emergency alert at the same time as part of the broader test. This, they used to do that a lot when I was a kid. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Yeah, you remember that all the time when you were a kid.
Yeah, I remember that all the time.
Yeah.
We'd always just wait it out. This is only a test.
Thing is, I still have to do that for my weekend shifts.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
And it is it gets the notice of people, but they chose the worst microphone possible because it just sounds like this. And hey, there's an emergency of this and blah, blah, blah. And then you get done and you're like, I don't know where the danger is. Am I affected? I can't understand any of that.
I know. I had to do it at a station too. And it was like, they did find the worst audio quality. Like, it'd almost be better if you just did it. Like, hey, everybody, this is the test.
Right. It's Brittany.
Beep.
This is cold. I scrolled down to the bottom of the story, and the headline at the bottom of the story is, hasn't the government messed this up before?
Uh-oh.
That's nice to know.
Uh-oh.
Yet another thing dropped the ball. There have indeed been multiple high-profile mistakes attributed to errors at the state level associated with mobile emergency alert systems that hit cell phones. Perhaps the most infamous incident was a 2018 misfire in Hawaii that set off a wave of short-lived panic across the state. On the morning of January 13th, 2018, a Hawaii State Emergency Management worker accidentally pushed the wrong button in the Emergency Operations Center, setting out a false warning alert of an incoming ballistic missile.
Yeah, do you remember that?
I remember that, yeah.
That was intense. Hawaii was like, excuse me? Excuse me, what?
It's like Pearl Harbor all over again.
And then they don't set the alarm when we needed it.
I know.
It was wild.
I know, it's really, really weird.
When we needed it, which were you talking
the
about?
fires that just went down. The guy didn't set off the alarm.
In Hawaii.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he didn't set the alarm off.
Yeah.
He should have, and he didn't.
Then he had a
Everybody's
press
just scared to
conference.
press the button in that
Right.
place.
It's like the last time this got pressed, somebody got fired.
Do we really need to push it?
I
need to
know.
Hawaii's got a different feel, though. I love Hawaii. I've been there a few times. I haven't been there in a long time now.
Would you recommend it for a vacation?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Really? That's where I want to go. Me and
God,
Justin have
Hawaii.
never done like a big vacation. That's where I want to go.
Hawaii is fantastic. The beauty there, you wouldn't even believe it. I mean, you got to go to the black sand beach on the other side of the island.
Fine, I'll go.
It's literally all black sand, and it's just because it's volcanic, I suppose.
That's so cool.
But it's really beautiful. It's
what
amazing.
a vibe.
Although when you go up the hill, there's the thing called the 7 pools.
Mm-hmm.
And if you and your husband get out and go look at that, expect some very large Samoans to come over and go, "What the hell are you doing here?"
And I'll say, whatever you want.
So
I'm very
don't go
scared.
to the 7 pools is what you're saying.
Samoans are some big fellas.
I
will tell you
was
that.
in basic training with these 3 Samoan, 2 girls, one man. And they were the strongest people I've ever met in my life.
Oh, yeah. They are very big, strong people. And they come over, 5 of them, when Catherine and I were up there.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing here? You're not supposed to be here. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You're like, yes, sir.
Let me salute you and move on. So, yeah, when they're supposed to set off the alarms, they don't. When they're going to set off the alarms, they do. What is this?
So just know at 1:20 today, when you're living your life, don't have a panic attack.
Or if you're in a really important meeting that you don't want to be a part of, make it a big deal, and then you can get out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Love
What's
that.
a meeting again? I forgot.
Whatever, you go to them and then you complain about them. If you have 1 in a week, you're like, oh, my life's ruined.
What meeting do I have every week?
You guys said you have like 1 a week sometimes. You randomly have
I do.
meetings and you get mad about them.
Well, what do you want to meet with me for? What did I do?
I've been trying to get on your schedule forever.
Forget it. You're out of the mix.
Let's have a meeting, Tom.
Forget it. I say, oh my God. See, now this is the kind of story I do love. Texas fixes grammar on sign.
I put this up there and I knew you would love it. I literally
love
went,
these
this is like the most, you are the demographic for this.
Oh, I would imagine. State Fair Texas fixes embarrassing welcome sign mistake. I have no guess. All it says is welcome to Texas.
It says a little more because the error is in the second line.
Okay, so there's 2 lines.
Yes, sir.
Okay, State Fair of Texas fixes embarrassing welcome sign mistake. The State Fair of Texas has fixed an embarrassing mistake on one of its welcome signs. A sign at one of the entrances in Fair Park read, "Howdy, folks, we're glad you're here." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Many on social media took it, because your is spelled wrong.
Yeah, it's Y-O-U-R instead of Y-O-U-R-E.
It's a possessive.
Yeah.
Yep. You got the little comma there, whatever that thing
Little
is.
sexy
Apostrophe.
comma. Yeah,
Whatever
it's
that is.
definitely an apostrophe.
Apostrophe.
A little second floor.
Second floor comma.
Second floor
Go upstairs.
Oh, I love that. Can we please call it a second floor comma?
Many on social media took pictures of the sign, noting that it incorrectly used the possessive your instead of the contraction your. The fair had a little fun with the mistake on social media. This is what happens when you let Little Big Texas proofread. Oh, Little Big Tex, I guess it is.
That's an awful mascot. Are you seeing the picture?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Anything that's human, I don't like. And like, sorry, Nordy, you fall in that realm too.
Who the hell is Nordy?
I mean, I didn't mean to say it's Nordy. Nordy's the guy who's kind of human. Is the man bear pig thing from Wild?
The man bear pig thing? That is
Yeah,
the man bear pig thing.
Yeah, but no, I actually have a problem.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I actually have a problem with the Vikings mascot.
Ragnar?
Yeah.
Like the actual
Victor. Sorry, Victor.
Yeah, like the
Victor?
actual like cartoon version one, or the actual man that used to ride the motorcycle.
No, I like the human, but I don't like it when they make mascot outfits that are human shaped. Like he's a caricature of a human. I don't like that.
Have you guys, when you looked at that picture of the "We're glad you're here" and it's spelled right in this one?
Yeah.
So to the right there, that's their mascot.
I think it's down a little when last time I checked.
With the cowboy hat.
Yeah,
he was on a computer last time I saw him. Yeah.
Oh no, he's looking at the sign now, but there's a woman
he's terrifying.
looking at him.
Her knees are touching each other.
How can she do that?
The front of her knees are
I
touching.
could never do that.
That look like why?
Try it right.
It's uncomfortable to stand that way.
It's like pigeon-toed is
okay. So you got
an insult. What?
Separated? Does she?
Yeah, but you got to point your toes inward. Yeah,
toes in.
and then you're and for the people watching at home.
Here's what I think happened. She was in mid stride and made a turn.
Here's what I love. I get up to do it, and she talks right over me the whole time.
I mean, this is what
You're
I
a
think.
disaster.
That's what I think happened because I don't think you stand like that naturally. I think she was in action.
You think she was walking?
Yeah, like she was walking and then like
that
made a turn.
pigeon-toed?
No,
And then like made a weird turn.
No, I don't
Nope.
agree with that thought. I think she was just standing there.
Because both her feet would point in the same direction if she was turning.
Yeah.
I hate Little Big Tex. I hate him so much.
I hate Little Big
He
Tex.
is so terrifying.
Yeah, he is kind of scary. He's big. Isn't he about 7 feet tall? Isn't he big?
I just hate when they're like, I'm a man, but I'm a bigger man.
Oh God!
Like,
Really
I don't like
upset?
it. Be a raccoon.
I understand. Be
What
a
does that have to do
raccoon.
with Texas.
I'm just saying, like, first off, Texas definitely has raccoons or an armadillo, but like, you can't. I don't like the human mascots.
Right, but they do that because now if Johnny that was the mascot is sick, we don't have to get a whole new person. We just put a new person in the.
I know, but like, I don't want it to be a human face. Like, I want it to be like.
But you don't like the pig bear rat face in the wild. Or
Nordy's got problems.
What?
But you know what? I did see Nordy get punched in the face once, and he had to leave a promotion.
No.
Yeah, it was at like we were at a wireless provider. I almost said which one, and this guy you could tell did not know how to interact with people, and he was like playing around. Nordy was being like silly with him, and a guy punched Nordy in the face, and he had to leave.
Like the guy or Nordy?
Nordy. Well, they both did.
Why would he punch Nordy in the face?
I don't know.
I don't get that. Nordy's there to cheer people up.
It was wild.
I do not understand that at all. Why you would do something like that?
But I digress.
You do?
I digress. I don't like this mascot, and I think that they put a bunch of resources to fix the letter, though. So I thought you'd be happy about that.
You know what's really funny about that? While you're saying I don't like this mascot, I'm looking down at the Charmin toilet paper bear, right as you said that.
Yeah.
The blue bear that's all.
Totally.
I was looking at it. We said, I don't like this.
Who's always got toilet paper on his butt?
He does, yes.
Yeah, but it's like the broken up like flakes. Like I don't know what? Like that's not a realistic.
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Charmin spent 5 years designing a new TP perforation.
Oh, thank God.
Who cares? It's a perforation. Who cares what it looks like?
So bad.
I'm going to watch myself wipe my butt. What? I mean, why would you care about that?
Well, reading the article, it's hilarious how jazzed up the person from Charmin is about this. They're like,
okay,
I love a press report.
It's never been before seen in the toilet paper industry. We're creating a new user experience like ever before. I'm like, buddy, you just made it easier, slightly easier to rip your toilet paper. It's still going in the same place.
Yeah, and it's also like from the picture, it looks like it's a wavy, like perforated line rather than a straight one.
Oh, so it wipes better.
So I just want to know what about this took 5 years to come up with.
Well, that's a good point.
Like this looks like about one meeting, and then can we roll this out next week?
But it's smooth tear, so that's the good part.
That's I'm just tired of straining over ripping the toilet paper.
What are the big? What do you got? You got Northern. You got Charmin. What are the big toilet papers?
Kirkland.
Oh, that's at Costco.
Yep.
Yeah. So is that comfortable?
It's great.
It's not like plywood.
No, it's not bad. It's great. It's like honestly, I don't think about it. And I know what cheap toilet paper, do not come for me. I know what cheap toilet paper feels like.
Right, like the waxy.
Yeah, this is not that. Kirkland's fine, and you can get it's fine. It's where, and honestly, Josh Arnold would probably agree with me. Did not put all my money in toilet paper.
I definitely would agree with you on that.
Not all the money in toilet paper. Okay, Josh.
Do not put all the money in toilet paper.
Josh does a show with me every Friday on the Family Podcast, which is the 4th hour of this broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Josh has been on for a long time, but I've been thinking a lot about Josh while I think about you a lot when I watch national television, Josh. I will tell you that. Because
I don't know what you're thinking about.
Yeah, well, there is that. There is that. But I just, shouldn't I be really, really nervous about the fact that we're worried about who we're going to kick out as a speaker instead of $33 trillion in debt?
That is a good concern. The market is probably, was more concerned yesterday about kicking out the speaker and some of the chaos and or dysfunction in the House of Representatives. And the press is salivating at the Republican Party running around like a chicken without a head. But,
that's what it looked like, yes.
Yeah, you brought up, the large amount of debt that is out there. And the question becomes, how are you going to actually service that debt? And is the debt high relative to the assets that the country has,
mm-hmm.
and the ability to pay off that debt? And with the cost of the debt continuing to rise, as the Federal Reserve continues to be concerned about continuing to inflation and their plan to keep interest rates. The Fed's control of interest rates is just on the short end. The market controls where interest rates are on the high end. But interest rates on the short end, are now over 5%. And that is very high, and the Fed has taken rates up very, very quickly on the short end. We'll say in the now more than a year and a half, from almost 0 to 5%. That is a very, very significant move. And it has hurt a lot of shorter term investors.
Sure.
It's actually hurt the Fed's balance sheet. But their efforts to bring down inflation seem to be working a little bit, in my estimation. And I also believe that the Fed is gone overboard. And it's gone overboard not only with their actions, but also with their jawboning.
Well, Josh, I have to ask you a question. I heard yesterday that the interest Americans owe on this is $700 billion. That's the interest alone?
Well, that could be. That one I don't know. So that could be. If you just start putting, here's the debt, here's the outstanding debt at X trillion, and depending on the length of the bonds that are used to finance that debt,
right?
And if I had just made a guesstimate that the average of that might be 3.5%, given some of these bonds are a lot older, just do the math.
Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense. It's really unfortunate. I mean, we're going through a situation right now. And Josh, I thought of you last night because I was sitting there watching this and I heard about that interest payment of $700 billion. And they're kicking out the speaker. And both the Republicans and the Democrats turned on the guy. I don't know anything about Speaker of the House, whatever. Maybe they don't like the guy. I understand it. But we got a former president under indictment. We got a current president that's being investigated for maybe being under indictment. Are a lot of things going wrong right now, Josh?
Oh, I'd like to look at some of the things that are going right, but if I look in terms of investing as a stock investor, which I am, I'm not a bond investor. If I look at things that are going right, I think there are a lot more things that are going right.
Good.
At least in terms of what companies are doing, both on the private side and on the public side. To grow their businesses. If I look at the negative side and the adverse effects right now on the stock market, you've got the Federal Reserve keeps talking about higher interest rates for a longer period of time in order to stabilize the economy and keep inflation at bay. The Fed is worried about, now this is no joke on this, but the Fed has said too many people are working and they're getting paid too much.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? You guys must exist in some never world. But they're looking for higher unemployment, which will stabilize wages and reduce the chance of inflation getting out of control. And I'm like, are you nuts? You want more people working. If you want higher unemployment, just take a look at the jobs participation rate. When, more than 35% of the potential workforce is not working. So the jobs participation rate is, I think, about 62.5%. Now I screwed up on the math because if only 35% of the people are working, that means the job participation rate would be 65%, and that'd be a lot better than it is currently. But the Fed is concerned about that, and they're concerned about sticky housing prices or housing prices continuing to go up. Well, housing prices have kind of leveled off. Rents have kind of leveled off, primarily because mortgage rates have just about doubled in the last year and a half.
Yep.
Currently about 7.5%. The number came out this morning that mortgage applications are at the lowest point they have been since 1996. And you and I, Tom, were a lot younger at that point in time.
Yes, sir.
So that's one worry for the market, is the Fed in the direction of interest rates. Then you have the price of oil, which continues to climb.
Yes.
And that becomes, for everybody, and I say everybody, but maybe the people in government or those people who are against fossil fuels. But of course, if you're against fossil fuels, what are you doing carrying around your iPhone or Android phone?
Right.
I'm sorry. And oh, by the way, I see you in a restaurant here. How do you think the food got there? How do you think the people got there? Really? I mean,
I know.
Oil is in everything. Price of oil is now today. The price of oil came down a little bit, but it's hovering around $90 a barrel.
Ooh.
You've got the Saudis and the Russians are cutting production and are keeping the production cuts in place through the end of the year. There is a little concern with demand right now, but that price of oil is up. And we have the current administration says, we're not going to lease any more land for companies to drill on. And the companies are saying, you know, price of oil is up. We don't have to take much risk. We can increase our dividends to our shareholders. We can buy back shares. We can be shareholder friendly, so to speak. And we can make a lot of money because we don't have to make the capital expenditures. Drilling, or I'll say the number of drilling rigs operating in the United States is not at an all-time low, but it's pretty low, which would give me pause to investing in onshore drilling companies like Halliburton. And I'd probably be a little bit reticent to invest in energy and production companies as a whole. But again, I've been a little gun shy about investing in oil companies for a lot of years, given a negative experience that I and my clients had back in 2016. Again, that's another story. So we've got the Federal Reserve as an issue. You have price of oil an issue to the market. You have the UAW strike, and that affects a good portion of auto production and anybody affiliated with that. I think with the strike extending, I think the number I saw was about 15% of automobile manufacture is down. And then you start looking at all the people that support auto manufacture and how they're affected. So that'll come through the economy. And then, last week a headwind was government shutdown. And this week it's just government dysfunction.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Josh, I'm getting some text messages. A guy named Bill wants to know how he could reach out. I think, and the reason I wanted you on is because there are all these weird things happening. Nobody's ever been kicked out as the speaker before. No former president's ever been indicted and brought into 5-6 different states' courts. All these things are going on right now. You do look at it, through your own lens, and you have ways to protect yourself from all the things. I think the people that are reaching out to me want to be protected. So how do they get a hold of you, Josh?
Well, they can call me at the office, 952-925-5608. Or they can, write me at josh@mrmoneytalk.com.
All right. And like I said, there are ways to not maybe totally protect yourself from this craziness, but you can protect yourself a bit.
The only way, Tom, really, if you really want to not lose anything, just keep the money in the bank or a money market account, because anytime that you invest in stocks or in bonds, and that would apply to people investing in mutual funds as well. Mm-hmm. Prices on a daily basis go up and go down. I know a lot of people, and I've brought up bonds. Bonds are where you're lending money to the government or a municipality or a company. Face value on any individual bond is $1,000. And there's a time period. So you put your money in. They'll pay you interest on that twice a year. And at the end of the time period, you'll get your $1,000 back.
I'm glad to hear that. And by the way,
of course, if it's a company or city or even the U.S. government, they're still in business. Stocks have no end date, so they're going to go up and down. But as interest rates go up, bond values go down. And that would apply just as much to people putting money into a bond fund as anything else. And if I were to look at bond funds this year, their return is negative. So not a lot of not a lot of safety there. So if you want ultimate safety, keep the money in cash, collect some interest. If you're investing on a longer term basis, to me, the place to be is in stocks, particularly with companies that grow their sales, which grow their earnings, and that should push up their stock price.
Sounds good. And that number again, Josh, is what?
952-925-5608. And as I've always said on the radio programs that I have done for decades, you always get straight talk, not sugar-coated advice.
I like that. And by the way, do yourself a favor and go back a couple of weeks. Download. It's on every Friday right after the morning show.
We have a good time on Fridays.
Yeah, especially when Fancy Ray and you were going at it. I thought that was wonderful.
We had a good time. That is one, as they say, that is one pretty, I can't say pretty boy, but pretty man. Ray.
Hey, he'll tell you that himself.
I know that. I left that show not only on a high, but I was exhausted from the hour of doing that show with him.
No, there's no doubt about it. All right, Pally.
I would do it again because he is tremendous.
Oh yeah, he's
happy to act as his straight man.
I'll see you at the game in a couple hours, man.
Look forward to it. Go Twins.
Sounds good. Thanks, Josh.
Bye. Thanks, Tom.
Josh Arnold, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I like talking to Josh. I met Josh several months ago, and I'm one of those kind of guys. I don't want to just, I'll go look for a guy. I want to get to know somebody. So when I do get advice to them, I know what they're talking about.
I agree.
And Josh is very good at that kind of stuff. He's a really good guy, but he and Fancy Ray together.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
So, Josh, let me ask you a question. Do you realize how beautiful I am?
That's a great question, Fancy Ray. Great question. I said, man, I really like your necklace. And he goes, I like everything about me. I said, yeah, me too.
That is Fancy Ray right there, ladies and gentlemen. We do have to take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. This is Tom Barnard from my throttle therapy friends at Power Lodge and Miller Marine. If you're the type that doesn't mind a little hard work or getting mud everywhere, as long as you've got the right machine, this is for you. Power Lodge is Minnesota's CF Moto Superstore. Since they buy more, you save more. And Power Lodge has new deals to get you ready for your fall escape. Save thousands on CF Moto off-road and side-by-sides, 4x4 starting at an unbelievable $45.99. Get ready for whatever the wilderness throws at you this year, no matter how tough the job. Power Lodge in their 5 locations has you covered with a 3-year warranty on select units. That's 3 years peace of mind. Bring home the keys and the freedom to ride with confidence. You can hear the motor humming in your mind's ear already, right? It always starts at the Lodge. That's Power Lodge. Plus, for a limited time, get a free CF Moto generator when you purchase select units, powering your adventures even further with locations in Ramsey, Sauk Rapids, Onamia, St. Cloud, and Brainerd. Power Lodge is your power sports go-to destination and is the largest CF Moto dealer in the state. Call or visit today and check my throttle therapy buddies out online at powerlodge.com. Your CF Moto escape starts at the Lodge.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
Dougie, how's life in Baldwin?
I love it, though it's a bit hard to find a half-calf, decaf, heavy foam.
I'll give you some heavy foam.
Yeah, that's what he said. Anyway, I just came back from the National Ford meeting and got to hear Bill Ford, Henry's grandson, and Jim Farley, who's the CEO, talk about the future of the company. It was really interesting, and I learned some cool stuff. Read this.
Ford builds more vehicles in the USA than any other brand. Huh? I thought it would have been Tesla.
Not even close. Keep reading.
Ford outsold Toyota in 2022 and is on track to do it again. I didn't know that either. Probably these commercials.
Yeah, sure, Bill.
Ford also has the largest number of assembly workers in the United States.
You know, Tom, I've really fallen in love with the product. From the electrics to the Super Duties, thanks to you, a lot of people have reached out to put Ford on their list. If you want to talk cars in general or Ford specifically, reach out to me at Doug@flagshipford.com.
Flagshipford.com.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
What can Hubbard Interactive do for your business? Let's take a listen and find out what they did for one local company, Steve the Window Guy.
I'm Sally, and I'm a digital brand strategist here at Hubbard Interactive. We met with Melissa from Steve the Window Guy, and she was looking for help with their video advertising strategy. So we helped build a comprehensive plan for streaming TV and YouTube ads.
And Melissa, tell us how it's been getting your message out with help from Hubbard Interactive.
I've been working with them for 5 years, and what I've learned is that they have both the experience and the depth inside their team to help me solve any creative marketing challenge that I've got. So over the years, I've moved from streaming TV to YouTube ads, and now we're moving towards SEO. And I'm loving the results that I'm seeing.
Is there anything else you want business owners out there to know about Hubbard Interactive?
I am so grateful for the entire team at Hubbard Interactive for effortlessly understanding our business and our marketing vision, and then always delivering only the best results.
To find out how our experts can help your business grow, get in touch today at hubbardinteractive.com.
We are back. Probably should check in on the weather here. Breezy, much cooler, and mostly cloudy. A spotty shower is possible with a high of 66. So went from 89 to 66 in about, 36 hours?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. It's amazing. Tonight, partly cloudy and cool, a low of 52. Thursday, an early shower becoming mostly sunny with a high of 63. So 66 today, 63 tomorrow. On Friday, a high of 54. And then on Saturday, a high of 54 again. So Friday and Saturday, sunny but cool with a high of 54 both days. And breezy on Friday, too. So it's going to feel pretty damn cool with a wind blowing at 54 degrees. Right now, it is mostly cloudy. It is 64 degrees right now, 64 now, but, only 2 more degrees. 66 going to be your high today, right?
Yeah. It's not too bad.
You know. God, I still have that toilet paper story up because I never got a chance to read it. I'm going to have to move on, though, ladies and gentlemen. So it's fluffier toilet paper.
It's more rippable.
Yeah. It's more rippable?
Yeah. It has the little wavy rip.
I have a question for you. This is toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
You have trouble ripping toilet paper?
I'm exhausted.
You might start doing some curls or something, because if you can't rip toilet paper, you got a problem.
Look at me. I'm tired. I just went to the
Yeah,
bathroom.
there you go. There you go.
There's a lot of things that we talk about on this show where it's like people justifying their jobs. That's what this feels.
That's what this is?
Yep, I needed to change the perforation on the toilet paper so I can justify
love
my
that.
paycheck.
I suppose. So do you think it'll be better?
I think it'll be something that you don't notice. Like if we never talked about this story and you told me like a year from now that it changed, I'd be like, oh, I had no idea, but good.
You know what I really love about toilet paper?
What?
Are those like 64 packs at like Costco.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
And I also love when they go like, well, there's 18 or there's 12 rolls in this box, but it really is more like 18 rolls with how like bigger compared. Like they
I
just
know.
say it's
Right.
12. Like I don't
Right.
care that is the equivalent of 18 or 36. or
We
whatever.
stockpile them, and then when we're out, like we don't like stockpile like crazy. We buy one thing from Costco,
Mhm.
but that lasts us a long time because it's just me and Justin. And then all of a sudden we're both in disbelief when we're out because we'll have it for like 6 months, and then we're like, "What? We're out?" Because I'll be like, "Grab toilet paper." He's like, I think we're out." I'm like, "Oh my god, what do we do?" Oh, okay.
Yeah, I suppose that is not a thing. Although I do stay on top of that. If it gets down to a couple of rolls, I got to go.
You got to go get it.
Yeah, because
gotta.
if you're out at home,
Oh.
like that's on you. Like you have to resupply before you
I
get to
know.
the last roll.
You know what I
That's where
might
we're
do,
at.
though? I might do this now. I'm going to go home today or tonight after the baseball game. I'm going to go in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, Catherine, help. There's no toilet paper. Just to see if she'll cover me. I bet she won't.
I texted Justin like last night. I said, "Hey, I just used the last of the toilet paper. When you come up, will you bring some?" He did not come through. So this morning I looked and went, "Oh."
So what do you do?
I just went and used a different bathroom until
Yeah, I suppose that's
I'll
good.
fix it tomorrow or today when I get there. But yeah.
Don't go to the hose in the kitchen sink, though. Don't do that.
Oh, when during COVID, I was like, we're just
Yeah.
gonna run the shower.
Just washcloths. And
I was like, I'm not gonna act like I'm helpless because I'm out of toilet paper. We're just we'll have the tub just quick dip on your way.
There
like,
you go. I like it. Which one of you guys posted the AI girlfriend story?
Me.
That thing looks. Just the headline looks interesting.
That's why I put it on there. I was like, "There's no way this is real," but apparently, yeah, people are lonely and turning to AI.
AI girlfriends are ruining an entire generation of men. Well, that would be you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't have an AI. I just want to put it out there. I don't have an AI
We've
girlfriend.
never met her.
That's true.
She's coming in tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, because she does take a lot of like really good, like abnormally good photos.
The rise of virtual artificial intelligence AI girlfriends is enabling the silent epidemic of loneliness in an entire generation of young men. It is also having severe consequences for America's future. I got to get rid of a commercial that just popped up. Oh, they're still pissing and moaning that now they're bitching about benefits on at the Hill in Washington, D.C. Great. They can agree on nothing. How is something that seems so ridiculous, a virtual AI girlfriend, causing future crisis among Americans? Well, with millions of users, apps have created virtual girlfriends that talk to you, love you, allow you to live out your erotic fantasies. So you are actually convinced that a piece of little electronics actually loves you.
It's probably the only thing more ridiculous than thinking the strippers at the strip club love you as well.
At least they're human. You know, there's a chance they'll like use you for your money in some ways, but like AI
what do you mean in some ways? What do you mean by that?
Like they would rub their body against you for cash.
The shtup?
Yeah, that's what I think.
It depends on the strip club you're at to get them to shtup. But yeah, I mean, I think.
I was just talking about like friction on clothing, but.
I was never a strip club guy. I don't know. I got nothing. You want to go to a strip club? Good for you. I'm happy for you. I just don't get it.
It's never too late, Tom.
But then what's in it for you? Oh, look, there's a naked titty. Who cares?
I don't know.
Whatever.
We were at Thunder Down Under or whatever the man version was.
Oh,
and there
yeah,
was like
right.
it was so annoying because it's like thousands of women to 5 guys, and then a strip club, it's like everyone gets their own person. But I just remember being like, anytime they'd come over, I'm like, I know that you think I'm disgusting.
So
that's nice.
I'm fine with it. I don't listen.
Bringing up the Thunder Down Under. So many years ago, me and one of my friends, we were like recruited to be like the pre-show Thunder Down Under entertainment when they were down here at.
And
like,
you said yes because I know your personality.
Well, yeah, I was like, I'm like 23 years old. Like I need.
It's not
money.
that long ago.
It's long enough ago. And so like one of my good friends, he's like, hey, they need another person. Do you want to do this with me? I was like, oh, sure, whatever.
Oh my
God. I remember I called my mom to tell her about it. And I'm thinking she's going to be like, hey, I would prefer you not to go be a stripper. But she was like, oh, make sure you get baby oil and like rub it all over your arms
Good
and stuff.
advice. Good advice.
Like people love it. I was like, okay, Mom, that's weird, but good advice.
Good
So
advice.
anyway, so we went down there. Like I had like a vest, some furry handcuffs. I'm handcuffing myself to girls. Oh, it was the best.
They loved you.
Oh yeah, and it was so it was for kinky. So we were like handing out kinky shots to everybody. So it was like a promo thing. But anyway, I remember getting in this big auditorium, and like we were the life of the party. We'd come out with trays of shots, and everybody's cheering for us.
Yeah.
And like the one time I get to the front, and they really lost their minds. And I thought they were cheering for me. I'm like getting everybody pumped up, and then I feel like a presence over my shoulder,
like hovering above you.
Yeah, and I turn around, and it is just a stage full of naked men. And I was like, yeah, this is my cue to get out.
I gotta move.
I am out.
Here's the thing, though. They don't show full wang.
No.
They always leave a little bit covered, which is so annoying. Like I did not.
What?
Yeah, they always keep.
He wants to see the wiener.
Hey, if I'm paying like $30, having a babysitter, parking, pretending to wear heels for an hour or two while I sit there, I want to see full wang. Call me crazy. That's what I'm here for.
Well, nothing wrong with that. That's a good argument.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
It all works out in the end. So you want to see full wang. That should be your autobiography someday. I want to see full wang.
Listen, we're all adults here. So like the shadow of it or whatever, like the little covering is just stupid at this point. Like, honestly, really?
Well, I got to be honest with you about something. That's one of the things, even when I was a little kid, like 13, 14 years old, I go, let me get this right. You go to a club and pay a lot of money to look at pubic hair.
Yeah.
Because on a naked woman, you can't see anything other than pubic hair.
They've taken care of that, though.
Oh, they have now?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that's
1,000%.
That's not a deal anymore?
Yeah.
Well, that shows you how long it's been since I've been in a strip
you
club.
You got to go probably to like a fetish strip club to get some lady with just a big bush out there. Yeah.
Are there those places?
Or if you catch me in winter.
Or if you go to like a strip club in Wisconsin, probably like some small town in Wisconsin, you'll get something like that.
They do talk about pubic hair in like real life. Like I think strippers really live and die by the code of no hair.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But man, pubic hair definitely trends in different ways all the time. So I know friends that lasered it all off and then regretted it because they're like, oh, we want a little bit there.
Who was the guy and where was it? I think it was in Wisconsin. I'm not sure. But who is the guy who wore the miner's helmet with the light on it every time he went to a strip club?
Jesus.
And he had to carry a battery with him, by the way, to power the hat.
Oh my God.
Okay. But he was wearing a miner's hat with a big old...
He was screening for cancer.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what he was
He's really just there for the great lunch buffet that they offer at the strip club.
That's what the deal
It
is.
is dark as hell in there, so it would be nice to have a little like 2-watt light on that hat.
I'm thinking it was in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
what was it?
It sounds like a Wisconsin thing.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What was that place again? There was a big strip club just on the border.
I don't know, but like the board, what were the two? There was one that was, I think it was called the Loch Ness Lounge.
The Loch Ness. Oh yeah, I remember that
like,
place.
As like being in high school, it was like that was always the joke of whatever in town. Loch Ness Lounge. There was another one as
Pain
well.
reliever.
Is that, I don't know.
There was a place called the Pain Reliever on Payne Avenue in St. Paul.
Oh, I see
Get
what
it?
you did there.
Payne Pain Reliever.
What was the one when you went up north? It was like Pleasure Town, or it was like in a big. It looked like a big.
King of Diamonds was on the way, and that building's still there, by the way, but there's nothing in it.
But like there was one that was like looked like it was in a warehouse type. It was like a standalone building.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them like that where you, especially in like big hunting towns.
Yes.
Where
They're
a lot of strip clubs like that.
I imagine that's probably true. Good for them. That's all I have to say. It's good for them.
Hey, people say they don't want to get out and work, go to strip club. Those girls be working.
I love that. They don't want to get out and work. Well, how are you going to pay for everything? Because we ain't going to give it to you.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't get it.
You can make fun. You can be mad at strip clubs. You can this and that. But I'll tell you what, those women work and they show up with like the hours of prep that has gone into it. Oh my God. I love.
Shaking your ass takes hours of prep.
You have, sir?
Really?
You have.
I don't know anything
no
about strippers.
idea.
I know nothing about strippers.
You have we've
really?
Yes. Oh my God. The hours, the removing of all of the hair, the toenails have to be a certain way. The hair has to be a certain way. The
Snorting
fingernails.
the cocaine, you have to.
No, I don't think that's as common because I don't think that you
Probably
can
not.
maintain that.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, yeah, I would say the drinking is probably more common.
That would make sense.
And then you get the strippers that burn out because you can't every weekend you're partying like that.
The strippers I have met and the ones I have met have all been lovely.
Mm-hmm.
They work there, for lack of a better word, ass off. Like for
get it?
Just maintaining and like that they gotta work out, they gotta this and that. It's impressive. That's not the kind of prep I'm doing for you guys. Sorry.
Why not?
Guys, sorry.
Get off your ass.
You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. This is your person. She goes, hair, sorry.
What?
On my face.
Okay. So about those AI girlfriends.
Back to the AI girlfriends.
I'm just trying to give cred where credit is due because they do not, they work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time and effort.
The rise of virtual artificial intelligence girlfriends is enabling the silent epidemic of loneliness in an entire generation of young men. It is also having severe consequences for America's future. How is something that seems to be so ridiculous, a virtual AI girlfriend, causing a future crisis among Americans? Well, with millions of users, apps have created virtual girlfriends that talk to you, love you, allow you to live out your erotic fantasies, and learn through data exactly what. Why wouldn't you just stoop a pillow if that's what you're going to do?
Because the pillow doesn't talk to you? I don't know.
Well, what if I think it's talking to me?
Yeah, I mean,
then you might need some medication.
Yeah, maybe. I might need to go to the hospital. So you allow you to live out your erotic fantasies and learn through data exactly what you like and what you don't like, creating the perfect relationship. Well, Catherine and I know what we like and we don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, Catherine and I tend to like the same things, not everything, but
have you molded into the same person, or were you guys always
maybe.
very similar? Because I mean, like me and Justin find similar things now. Like that's kind of our thing.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. These virtual girlfriends can even be based on real people. One influencer created an AI bot of herself named Karen, but it's spelled Caryn.
Impressive.
Could be Karen then, couldn't it?
Karen.
Karen.
No, I think it's Karen.
I think it's Karen.
Yeah.
Okay. Then gained over 1,000 users, real boyfriends in less than a week, and a wait list of more than 15,000 people. An AI girlfriend might sound enticing. You get to connect with a super hot girl. It's not a super
It's
hot
a cartoon.
girl. It's a cartoon.
It's like being into Mario. You might as well just be really into Mario.
All it is like a really advanced of like those old stereotypical like blow up doll sex toys. Like that's all that this is. It's just a computer version.
It's depressing.
Yeah.
One time I was
Really
feeling
is.
really sad about something, and I went to Chat GPT, and I was like, Chat GPT, tell me a story about a working mom who feels like they're not with their kid enough. And the Chat GPT, was it a terrible, like lacked a lot of, descriptors? But it was a good story, and I appreciate it. So I think that I used ChatGPT for the right reason.
Oh my God.
It was just like a really weird moment where I was like, I'm feeling sad about something. And I was like, tell me a story. And they told me a story, and it felt like it hit home, and I liked it.
God, this story goes on and on.
Yeah,
and
it's a long one, but just the headline alone, I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, what is going on here?
And because like 15,000 people on a wait list for an AI girlfriend is completely bizarre. And Brittany, would you be upset if Justin was like, hey, I have an AI girlfriend that I've been hiding from you?
Yes.
You would get upset.
I had to think about it. I would be upset because I feel like it falls in the realm of like, full disclosure, if he was like every night, like needed a lot of attention or whatever, but Justin barely needs human interaction. So if like the small amount of human interaction he was getting was from a robot, I'd be pissed because I'd be like, I want to talk about things. So like that would be mad.
I just realized why you got married. Because he doesn't talk and you never shut up. What a great combo.
I'm like the speaker of the house.
Right there.
Literally.
The speaker of the house, literally.
People think Justin doesn't talk, but because he doesn't talk to a lot of people.
No, he doesn't.
But he talks to me a lot. Like but
like, God damn it, Brittany. You mean like that?
Yeah, but he loves me, and I love my
husband. I'm glad to hear that. Well, that's a good thing that you love your husband.
I do. I really do. And you know what? I'm starting to get mad. I was just going to talk to Chat GPT during the break, but now I'm kind of pissed at it just because I have this weird feeling that it was Justin talking to Chat GPT. Be honest.
Well, maybe. You never know. We do have to take a break. I know that, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of great stuff coming up. Right after this, Tom here, and I just read a success story from MN Fat Loss client Elizabeth, who just completed the program, as a matter of fact. Elizabeth writes, I'm a 54-year-old woman who has struggled with losing weight. I had almost constant heartburn, trouble sleeping, brain fog. I tried counting calories, eating bars and shakes, and several other programs in which I would lose maybe 5 to 10 pounds after months of struggling only to gain it right back, too. After 60 days of the MN Fat Loss program, I was down 25 pounds. MN Fat Loss had really empowered me to believe that I can control my eating and my weight without having to sacrifice foods that I like. Let me assure you that the short 60 days is totally worth it. If you're thinking about finally committing to improving your health, this is the time to start. You will not regret your investment in yourself. Go, it's a great thing. Great job, Elizabeth. I'm so happy to hear about your success. And that's true, by the way, because I don't want to, point people in a direction unless they do a good job, and they always do a good job at MN Fat Loss. Are you ready to lose weight and feel better? Go to mnfatloss.com and schedule a free phone consultation. It's so easy to see if MN Fat Loss is a good fit for you. They offer a free phone consultation to learn about the program. You don't have to take time off work or get a babysitter for the kids. It's as easy as getting on a quick call with the expert staff. You can share your goals, learn about the program, and see if it is a good fit to help you lose weight and feel better. They also have virtual options to help you if you live far away. That's great, too. To schedule that free phone consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. The only thing you have to lose is that unwanted weight. That's www.mnfatloss.com. I cannot wait to hear about your success story. Let them know that Tom sent you.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombernardshow.com.
This is Tom Barnard from my throttle therapy friends at Power Lodge and Miller Marine. If you're the type that doesn't mind a little hard work or getting mud everywhere as long as you've got the right machine, this is for you. Power Lodge is Minnesota's CF Moto Superstore. Since they buy more, you save more. And Power Lodge has new deals to get you ready for your fall escape. Save thousands on CF Moto off-road and side-by-sides. 4x4s starting at an unbelievable $4,599. No matter how tough the job, Power Lodge and their 5 locations has you covered with a 3-year warranty on select units. That's 3 years peace of mind. Bring home the keys and the freedom to ride with confidence. It always starts at the Lodge, Power Lodge. Plus, for a limited time, get a free CF Moto generator when you purchase select units, powering your adventures even further. With locations in Ramsey, Sauk Rapids, Onamia, St. Cloud, and Brainerd, Power Lodge is your power sports go-to destination and is the largest CF Moto dealer in the state. Call or visit today and check my throttle therapy buddies out online at powerlodge.com. Your CF Moto escape starts at the Lodge.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw & Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit tombernardshow.com, keyword partner.
Like any good agent, we're here for the open house, for the closing, for handing over keys. But because we're realtors, we're here for so much more. Agents who are realtors volunteer at nearly 3 times the national average. We're working to broaden access to credit, increase affordable housing supply, and ensure fair housing for all. And realtors are bound by a code of ethics. We're here for it all. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of news, a little bit of information. Kristyn Burt coming up in just about 25 minutes, somewhere in there. Special guest coming up at 10:30, as a matter of fact. And this very special story that was sent to me, I think by Brittany, but I'm not sure. A West Sacramento police officer arrested over the weekend for DUI once received an award for his work in arresting drunk drivers.
Oh.
Well, he was an expert.
I was going to say, a little too much power there in the situation.
Yeah, maybe. You might be right about that. The California Highway Patrol arrested Raymond Barrantes just before noon on Before noon? The guy was drunk before noon?
Damn, I didn't even think about that when he said before noon. I'm like, oh.
That's going a little early, isn't it?
We don't know his shifts, though. Because, like, if Chris Egger got arrested for getting wasted at noon, I'd go, he works super early in the morning.
That's true. Right. That's true. Yeah. You're right. He got arrested just before noon on Saturday after a Joaquin County deputy saw Barrantes driving and suspected DUI. According to the West Sacramento Police Department, Barrantes was booked into San Joaquin County Jail and French Camp. He has since been bailed out, however. What a story this is.
Here's a little clip from the news report.
Oh, you got it.
I'm surprised constantly by who gets drunk driving arrests. We work very, very closely with West Sac Police Department, and we're trusting that they're going to handle it well internally and that the officer will be held accountable, which is what's important to us. It is not always who you expect it to be.
Not who you expect it to be. The arrestor becomes the arrestee.
Yeah, exactly right. That was Lori Bergenstock. What is Bergenstock? That sounds familiar.
Isn't it the shoes, the Birkenstocks?
Birkenstocks. That's what I'm thinking of. You're right.
It's like the American version or like the bootleg version.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm wearing my Birkenstocks
you got them
today.
off of Wish.com or something.
West Sacramento Police confirmed with KCRA3 that a photo posted on the department's Facebook page in April 2015 showed Barrantes receiving an award from Mothers Against Drunk Driving, also known as MAD. The caption of the photo said Barrantes and another officer got the award for having the most DUI arrests for our agency in 2014. KCRA3 asked MAD program specialist and law enforcement liaison Lori Bergenstock for her reaction, which you just heard. Bergenstock said that MAD gives out awards every year to recognize officers at various departments for helping keep drunk drivers off the road. Although MAD does a lot of programming with law enforcement agencies, Bergenstock said she has not worked directly with Barrantes. God, there was just one of those stories by coincidence on the air last night, a local story. about this whole deal, the drunk driving thing and all that stuff. And the woman lost her little child. It's like, Jesus.
Oh.
There's another young woman. She's 23. She looks like she's about 15.
Yeah.
She got arrested for drunk driving, killed someone. I mean, God, I've never wanted to drink that much and get in my car.
You know, I think it's one of those things where you hope that, I mean, if you can get in a situation where you get a DUI and make the changes you need to, you should just be very thankful you never killed anybody. I'm very thankful. I used to, you know, I haven't drank in 13 years or something, but I'm very thankful I've never heard it. I don't know if I could come back from that. And I
know.
So it's like, I'm very thankful that the things that needed to happen happened, and I'm not drinking anymore because it's just not, I'm not a good decision maker when I'm drunk.
I'm not drinking anymore. It's been 12 years because it was a suggestion from someone very close to me.
And you're a copycat because I quit drinking and you're like,
yes,
I'm going to quit drinking too.
She can do it. I can do it then.
It was literally like a year later
that I quit.
Yeah, you were like, oh, Brittany looks amazing. Her skin
Yeah,
looks
that's
so
what it was.
good.
I think it had a little more to do with maybe this redhead that you might know.
Yeah, I think she had a strong influence on you.
Hey, guess who doesn't drink anymore? That'd be you.
Was it the steak knife situation?
Maybe.
Maybe.
What do you know about the steak knife situation?
You've told it on air.
I've heard the steak knife situation.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I actually have to be really careful sometimes because I do forget what's been on air, but I know for a fact you've said that one on air because I was really proud of you for telling that story on air.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. What steak knife situation?
You got mad and was like death gripping a knife at dinner, and you were at dinner with Catherine, and it was like the last night you ever drank.
Oh, that was the guy who told me to shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
I
didn't
do
threaten
remember
anybody, but you were like holding the knife in your hand.
You know who I was with when I did that?
I thought you were with Catherine.
I was with Catherine, but also with Louie and Francine, Nanny and Tino and Michelle Latieri. And they made me move to a different part of the restaurant, and Tino came and sat with me in the other part of the restaurant. Because this guy I think he's trying to act like a tough guy in front of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So you're right, I did. I grabbed my steak knife and said, you need to shut the F up.
And Catherine's like, why don't you set that down, buddy?
Why don't you set her down there? Why don't you put that steak knife down? I said, but honey, we're in a steakhouse. Why can't I pick up a steak?
I gotta eat my steak. We're eating a salad. We're on the first course, honey.
Pretty much true.
I'm proud of you for telling that story because listen, I got a lot of stories like that where I wasn't myself.
Yeah.
I was maybe I didn't kill anybody or threaten anybody, but I wasn't myself. I wouldn't normally act that way. And at the end of the day, is like, Tom, somebody could come in here and be a jerk to you and you wouldn't react that way because that's not you. I mean, you'd be mad, but you're not going to be like, I'm going to risk my whole life over this.
No, that's true. So it was a good thing.
Yeah, it is. We're boring now.
As a matter of fact, I think they shut that restaurant down now. It's been open. No, it's still open now, but they're looking to. For some reason, the city wants to shut it down, and I don't know why.
You should buy it.
It's a great restaurant.
Really
good. But I haven't been invited out to dinner with Tino in a while. I wonder if that.
why. Whatever. They love you.
It's all true, boy. I tell you what. But my group growing up.
Yeah.
Holy Christ! You could run into some fighting. I will tell you.
Yeah,
that.
and
Holy
some drinking.
God.
I bet.
Oh, maybe a little drinking too. You might be right about that too. This might be a very cool story because I just looked at the headline and it's a magnificent headline. Firefighters called to a raging house blaze.
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing Halloween decorated house.
I think this is the time we stop and we go, listen, it's spooky season, correct?
It is.
October kicks it off. Before you put up even one little pumpkin or one little skeleton, ask yourself, is this too realistic? Because this happens every year.
Or you hear with the Christmas decoration where the guy had the Santa that was hanging from his house and the legs would move. Somebody thought someone was actually dangling.
And they called the police a bunch of times. This house that they have backlit with looks like you look in the door and the window. It looks like there's a blazing fire in there.
Oh, it does. Yeah. It looks like the house is definitely on fire.
So I'm guessing the firefighters were called how many times?
Yep. There's no higher praise for a Halloween decor enthusiast The Glens Falls, oh, and of course, an ad had to pop up right over the story because I hate you so much. The Glen Falls, it did it again. The Glen Falls Fire Department was called out to a house for a confirmed structure fire, the upstate city on Saturday. And the firefighters were shocked to see no fire, but rather a premature yet amazing Halloween display. Why is it premature? It's October.
I'm with you. I think you can kick it off October 1st.
You damn right. Video provided by the homeowner to the fire department showed the extravagant setup, which made the house look like a potential crime scene. Yeah, you guys pointed out to me, it does look like the house is on fire.
You look in there, you go, there's a blazing fire. I hope everyone's okay. Do they have dogs? You run in there, you find out it's just like some lighting and paper.
Yep.
I'd be pissed.
The decor makes it appear as though the house really is on fire, with faux flames lighting up and seemingly engulfing the interior through the windows. Yeah, we looked at the picture. It does look like that house is on fire, no doubt.
Sure.
To our surprise, this was an amazing Halloween decoration, the fire department said. This display will be up Friday and Saturday nights for the public's entertainment until the end of October. Well, so that's kind of cool. A majority of Facebook commenters, the fire department included, applauded the homeowners for their creativity. Our neighbors are so creative. Way to go, John and Matt. It is so realistic. The apparent neighbors wrote, and the fire department official Facebook page responded. They were both amazing. Thank them again. We like these calls because the house isn't burned into the ground.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
You know, you think they might have been annoyed by it?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. That's impressively surreal. Going to be getting a lot of calls for this one. Someone else exclaimed, wow, that's insane how realistic it looks. It's crazy. There are like 7 Y's on the word crazy.
Crazy.
However, the one person said it might be a good idea to notify the fire department when you're doing this so they know if they get a call for it. Yeah, it would be good if you can make it look like your house is on fire to tell the fire department.
Well, especially because like when you click on the picture and the video pops up, they have like a fan, so it looks like the flames are moving and everything.
Yeah,
it's
too realistic.
Yeah.
Also, that's not like the Halloween vibe. So it's not like, oh, there's a ghost. If you saw like a ghost going in and out of a window on Halloween, you'd go, obviously that's a ghost. But a fire doesn't necessarily go, that's Halloween.
Well, yeah.
No, also, wouldn't you worry as the homeowner that if you ever do you have a fire? They'll go, no.
Yeah,
that's just that silly house.
Don't worry about that
That's
house.
the boy who cried fire right there.
Yeah, that would not be good if you did that.
Yeah, I'm not here for it.
You're not going to go with it. You're fed up.
I would tell Justin. Well, Justin would never. He would never. Like we get maybe one light of Christmas lights up, and we go, we did it. With this year, we are festive. So. But yeah, I would say hard pass on that.
You know, we honest to God have some neighbors. We have 2 neighbors that I know of that leave their lights on all year round.
Does it bug you?
And they light them. No, it's fine with me.
Christmas lights?
Christmas lights, Halloween decorate. They just leave it up and turn it on every night.
Can I tell you something that I cannot wrap my head around to be this like wealthy or I don't know, or this whatever. People in our neighborhood pay to have somebody do their Christmas lights.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But you don't want me doing the Christmas lights.
I know,
will tell
but
you
come
that.
on.
That's like kind of the whole point of doing it.
It would look terrible.
I know, but still, it's like it's too done. It's done too well. Where you go,
right.
They all look the same. It's very pretty, and I get where they're coming from. But like, I feel like you have to get out there and try to do it yourself in whatever way that is.
Yeah, because there's more pride that way.
Does anybody get real trees anymore?
No,
not many.
Because we don't. Oh, Andy, you don't.
No.
I would like to one year, but I don't think we will.
No. Yeah, I mean, they're beautiful for a while, and then they start to fit. I don't know. They're really unsafe in your house to have a tree in your house that's been dead for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. And then put a bunch of lights around it.
Yeah.
My job was I was the waterer, and I took a lot of pride in watering, getting down there, dumping water in. And we also had this little button to turn the lights on and off.
Yeah.
And every other time it would shock you. So we'd be like, oh, whose turn is it? It was like there's something magical about the whole experience.
You know, this might be the first year since Alex was born. And she's what now, 34?
That's I think right.
That I will not put her on my shoulders to put the star on top of the Christmas tree.
Why are you going to do that?
Because I'm not going to be in town. I'm going to be gone. That's going to be weird after 30. Well, she must have been like 2 when I first did it.
Why are you going to be gone?
32 years. I just want to get away from Alex.
So last year,
she goes with.
Last year, you put
so aggressive.
Alex on your shoulders.
Yes.
I want to see a picture of it.
Absolutely.
Andy, we got pictures of that,
this
don't
needs
we?
to have been documented.
I think so. I think Mom's got one.
I think Mom's got a picture. Yeah, and she's on my shoulders and holding on to her. She's putting the star on the top of the Christmas tree. And then, of course, we take it off, and then Fawny puts it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good.
You'll appreciate this. What goes on top of my Christmas tree? Black Santa.
There's a shot.
Thank God.
Whoever heard of
God.
it? A nice salute to your mother, by the way.
What do you mean?
She's not black.
Well, I mean, she's
Way to
also
go.
not Santa.
How about if her
matter.
feelings are hurt?
Why?
Because
She
her
loves,
skin color doesn't matter.
but she
Just
loves.
like 100 years ago, typical.
The point is,
loves
it's a
Black
Black Santa.
Santa.
Yeah, everybody loves Black Santa. No, somebody in college got it for me as a joke, and I was like, "This is awesome." I'm
Joke?
every year.
That'd be good to have a black
Yeah.
Santa if you're black.
Yeah.
Did they have any other skin colored Santas?
Oh yeah,
I just-
definitely. In Japan, they call him Santa-san.
Yeah.
Santa-san?
I'm sure they do. I just found the black one and went with it. But yeah, you put up whatever.
I found the
facial-
black one and went with it. Yeah, okay.
Hey, whatever gets you through. I mean, he's not real, so he can be whatever color you'd like. It's not like
Whoa,
you're like.
Whoa. Kids might be listening.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I hope not.
Jeez, disclaimer.
Oh my! I literally talked about my front butt like 2 minutes
What if
ago.
Go-Go was listening to this show right now and you just ruined Christmas? for
Listen,
him?
there's a big trend that people are raising their kids like that.
Like what?
Not believing in Santa.
Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
thing for sure.
Why is that? What? No
Because-
joy allowed?
Because then you don't have to lie to them later, or like
not
break
Also,
their
they
hearts
say that
later.
make sure that Santa doesn't give the biggest present because there's other people who you go to school and they're like, I got this, I got that. So my mom always said Santa gave a present, but it wasn't ever the biggest one.
You know what's amazing to me about this? Your generation
We ruin
wants
everything.
to get rid of everything,
We ruin everything.
that the previous thousands and thousands of years, but your generation has to change everything.
Yeah.
Why is that?
You're welcome.
Because-
We're trailblazers.
Yeah.
Because we earned this paycheck. I want my kids to know Santa didn't get you that. I went and got you that with my hard-earned money. Like that, I feel like is more of the vibe.
Hard-earned money. You work
Absolutely.
here.
I don't
I've
want
never
to tell
seen
you.
you work hard.
I don't want to tell you. There is a whole trend online about people feeling betrayed when they find out the truth.
Mhm.
Because I know
Truth
you're going to
about-
roll your
People are
eyes.
dramatic.
Santa? What was I, 2?
Yeah, that's early.
Yeah,
you
that's-
definitely did.
For most kids, it's like 6 to 8, something like that.
No
I was like abnormally old. You guys are not gonna have a hard time believing that I believed in it for a long time.
What's
Well,
a
I'd
long
rather-
time?
I gotta ask my mom because we were living in Stillwater and I found it out. Again, disclaimer, maybe turn this down. But I found out about the bunny first. Bald.
The bunny didn't
What?
bother me at all.
What bunny?
The
The
Easter, bunny.
Oh, I don't know. That doesn't
No.
bother me.
Yeah,
at all.
I learned about the Easter bunny and I was like, okay, whatever.
I'll ask my mom what
Is it supposed
age
to be
I
a
was.
human-sized bunny?
Yeah,
or
that's the
something?
thing. It's kind of not believable even to a child.
This rabbit that lays
Oh wait,
eggs.
Uh-huh.
I think the thing my mom always jokes about is I cried and I said, "What about the Easter bunny?"
Easto.
I was crying so hard. What age? I'll ask her.
8.5 is the average for learning Santa's not real.
It is?
So there you go.
And I guess I don't remember the day I found out that Santa wasn't real.
Oh,
but
I
like,
do.
I
is
do.
it that jarring for
Me and
like,
Andy do. We
adults
remember.
looking back? Like, do you feel like that shaped who you are today? Is because you
No.
learned that Santa wasn't real?
I remember being mad, but I don't remember being mad at my parents. I remember being mad
That's
at the
true.
kid who told me.
Oh, yeah.
Screw you, Jacob. I'm coming for you.
Exactly. It's like, why'd you ruin this for me? I mean, I think at some level I probably had an idea.
Yeah.
So
I
it
had
was
no
like,
idea. I was oblivious.
You just thought
so it's like you're shattering my, suspension of disbelief here.
I'm trying to, I do believe I was 4 when I just went, this is not real. You never see the guy in the street. Where the hell is he? He's not in the North Pole. You knew that wasn't right. Even a 4-year-old
I
knew
feel
that.
so uncomfortable talking about
Yeah.
this.
Why?
like-
I do believe that we're letting everybody know, right? Like the pause. That's
You
happening.
are. You're the one who announced it.
I know, but that's why I feel.
Oh, now she feels bad.
you
Oh,
can't put the
okay.
toothpaste back in the tube.
All right. Okay. So we're going full on.
here's what I think.
Okay.
And it goes for Santa, it goes for the Easter Bunny, it goes for Jesus, it goes for whoever you got.
Yeah.
If you want to believe something like that exists and it makes you happier and you don't hurt other people, I'm happy for you.
Right. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but like if you look at it logically, it's not a believable like, oh, this guy went and delivered 1 billion presents to everybody. Like, yeah.
But if you want to believe that there is a Santa somewhere just hanging out, good for you.
Right.
Like I said, as long as you're not harming other people and holding other people back because they don't believe what you believe, then I got no problem with it.
What I don't get is the North Pole thing, because there is no North Pole. Like, there's no land there.
You don't like the factualness. You don't want to teach Ethan that like land mass exists there.
Well, it's like what happens when a kid looks at a globe and they're going to go to the North Pole because that's where Santa lives, and it's just a bunch of water.
I mean, luckily their passport probably. Well, no, there's a 6-month wait
You're
right
not
now.
gonna let them in.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. But yeah,
At the South Pole, that would work.
That would work. They got
that's your big problem right there.
Mm-hmm.
I actually understand where you're coming from, Andy, because I hate the idea of like there's so many things you could teach a kid, right? And their brain can only fill with so much, and so why make that a lie?
It took forever for me to learn that there's nothing at the North Pole.
Yeah,
I thought that it was like the South Pole,
right?
Because that's where Santa lives, right? So
I would not be shocked if somebody today listening to this broadcast goes, "Wow," like it was a revelation to them because like it wasn't that long ago where I was like, "Oh yeah, that's not a thing."
No, North Pole's just a bunch of water, basically.
There's nothing there. They should have done some research. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
I mean, you can change the narrative. You can make it whatever you want, but the problem is you got this guy over here who's going to be pretty adamant about keeping it.
Mm-hmm.
I love Christmas.
We haven't really decided yet. I'm sure we're going to do the Santa thing.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Why wouldn't you?
Right. It's a harmless.
Any joy in life?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's harmless.
I think my big problem is, so we got a biter right now, and she's like ruining a lot of people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
My big problem would be if I told her the truth, she'd be out there in the world spreading that, like her bites. So it's like she'd be out there being like, you know who's not real? And I'd be like, Margot, knock it off. Like so that would be my problem is I don't want to ruin other people's good times. But like, I like it. I don't know. It's hard because like, I see where people are coming from.
Okay, you got the greater good, which is where the word God came from.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't know that, They have no
true,
idea.
but
what?
It's not true.
The word God in the English language came from the greater good.
Mm-mm.
Where did it come from?
It came from Old Germanic, I believe.
Yeah, but they're got their heads up their ass. Gott. Yeah, Gott. Gott in Himmel. I used to hear that all the time when I was a little kid.
There you
God in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case.
Himmel means heaven?
Himmel means heaven. God in heaven. Himmel. Oh, well, that's what they said to me anyway, so I assume that's probably true. But look, here's what I would like to ask. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know if there is a greater good out there. Why do you deny? I don't know if you want to believe in God or not, but how do we know if there's not a greater good out there somewhere, right?
Right.
So why is this such a problem? Yeah, because people take the idea of a God and stretch it out to benefit them and harm other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that pisses me off to no end. It's like, God will get you. God ain't going to get anybody. Settle down.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got a lot of people in the Bible.
Yeah, well, he did. He got a lot of people in the Bible.
He was a busy guy.
That is very true.
He's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy. It's pretty hard to deny, right?
I love people that have faith. I love it. Great.
Yeah, that's fine. And again, as long as I just don't like the faith where it's like, well, you're not one of us, so you're out of the mix.
I'm also fine with that. I love being out of the mix.
Do you?
Love it.
The less you care about what I do, the better.
I love when people are like,
probably.
You can't come to this because okay, cool. Like as long as it doesn't I don't have to get worse parking. Okay, fine. Like I don't get to go to your weird 2-hour Sunday thing. Fine. Wah. Fine with it.
You just reminded me of a friend of mine. I'll never forget that we were like teenagers. And one of my neighbors was a nice Jewish boy. And some guy was railing on Jews on Plymouth Avenue. Looking back, just going nuts. And there's a whole neighborhood of them, right?
Yeah.
And so this kid who's my age, he was 11 or 12, something like that. And he literally looks at me and goes, "Hey, Ixnay on the UJ."
Oh my God.
I thought that was pretty good. I don't know if he made that up or not, or if he saw it in a movie or something. But
Oh my
I thought it was a fantastic line. We have to take a break. We'll be right back in a couple of seconds. Kristyn Burt right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers there. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years. But I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw & Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Tom Barnard is back. Every weekday, you'll hear Tommy B, Brittany Arneson. Yes, that Brittany Arneson. Along with Tom's pals, Kent Herbeck on Fridays, Bob Sansevier, Mike Stretch Gelfand, Tim Lammers, and from Channel 5 Eyewitness News, Chris Eggert and Kristyn Burt on entertainment and pop culture. It's Tom and the crew with opinions on news, opinions on life, opinions on entertainment, and of course, opinions on other people's stupid opinions. The Tom Barnard Show is a podcast, so you can listen when you want to listen. In the car, on the way to or from work, at home, on the job site, or wherever you need your Tommy B Show fix. Hear the show on the Tom Barnard Show app in your app store, as a podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts, or see it on YouTube on the Tom Barnard Show channel.
What can Hubbard Interactive do for your business? Let's take a listen and find out what they did for one local company, Steve the Window Guy.
I'm Sally, and I'm a digital brand strategist here at Hubbard Interactive. We met with Melissa from Steve the Window Guy, and she was looking for help with their video advertising strategy. So we helped build a comprehensive plan for streaming TV and YouTube ads.
And Melissa, tell us how it's been getting your message out with help from Hubbard Interactive.
I've been working with them for 5 years, and what I've learned is that they have both the experience and the depth inside their team to help me solve any creative marketing challenge that I've got. So over the years, I've moved from streaming TV to YouTube ads, and now we're moving towards SEO. And I'm loving the results that I'm seeing.
Is there anything else you want business owners out there to know about Hubbard Interactive?
I am so grateful for the entire team at Hubbard Interactive for effortlessly understanding our business and our marketing vision, and then always delivering only the best results.
To find out how our experts can help your business grow, get in touch today at hubbardinteractive.com.
New Brake Best Select Pro. Professional grade brake pads and rotors from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Happy National Taco Day. A recent poll found only 5% of us don't like taco. How could you not like taco?
What is wrong with you?
How would you, it's chicken or beef or pork or whatever.
So good.
With a little lettuce and a little tomato wrapped in a hard shell tortilla. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
Wait, that's a white person taco.
What is a white person taco?
When it's in a hard shell, it's a white person taco.
You're racist.
I definitely would not recommend the hard shell taco.
I
You gotta
love
go
hard
soft
shell.
You guys,
Shell. Tasty.
white people tacos or like authentic tacos, both of them are bomb. Like they're so good.
That's true.
And like the
Difference.
the nostalgia I have about like the tray of hard shell tacos coming out and my mom having sour cream, cheese, iceberg lettuce, and beef. Like I love it. It's all so good.
Or the nostalgia of a taco in a bag with like the Dorito chips, and you'd put all the taco meat in there that you eat at like school.
There's a song on social media that's like white people taco night or something like that. And it's really funny.
So we're going to start going to black and brown people taco night too?
I'm not.
I didn't think so.
I'm going to eat all the tacos. And by the way,
to attack white people.
It's
for
not an
their skin color.
attack.
Yes,
you're looking at it as a negative, and maybe they're saying it as a negative. But like, I have no. If Justin said tonight we're having tacos, I know exactly what he's making, and I'm pumped about it.
And most of the time, it's like, okay, you could also just say it's an American version of a taco. It's like going to Taco Bell. It's like going to Taco Bell versus going to like a bodega or an
El
actual
Burrito on Robert Street in West St. Paul.
Oh, Robert Street.
or any of the tacos you're going to get here in California, they're going to be a soft corn or flour taco.
Boring.
Nope, delicious.
They're so
all
good.
delicious.
I would destroy them right now.
Some burrito tacos.
Some Tinga tacos. I would
burrito tacos. And by the way, we have a place out here, Tito's Tacos, and they do a hard shell, but they fry it.
Yeah.
So it's like a double fry, and then you put in the taco meat and your guac and your lettuce and tomatoes, and it's so delicious and greasy.
Have you and Alex been hanging out together?
Probably.
Because both of you do this when you talk. You put all the stuff together.
So good. It's so good. I love a good taco.
I do too. Tacos are fantastic.
If you're
I
telling
love
me Mexican
anyway.
food, yeah, I'll eat it anytime.
I agree. I love Mexican food. I don't know if I've ever had anything in Mexican that I didn't like. You know, it's all good.
It's all the same things, just in different order.
It really is like being.
That's kind of negative.
I saw this, you guys, an air fryer. They made nachos in an air fryer. It looked so insanely good. It had like layers of cheese on it, and they like dumped it out like a cube. Oh, it looked so good.
Nachos are a food group.
Oh, they're so
Yeah.
I don't eat nachos. Are they good?
He's not. It's Tom.
That is a girl dinner. Girl dinner.
I put everything on those nachos. Like the other day, I made nachos with it was like I had.
Well, that's basically a hard shell taco.
I know, but like,
what are you guys bitching at me for?
But it's different.
How do you not
different
eat nachos?
It is different. I don't put lettuce on my nachos where I might put it on my taco.
Whoa. Why not? Are you not after it's all said and done? Throw some lettuce on there?
I prefer like a pico de gallo, a lot of guac, just a hint of sour cream. I like black beans on mine versus pinto beans. Lots of cheese, crispy, not soggy. I'm very particular about my nachos.
Here's how little food we had in the house the other day. I made nachos out of, we have those like mozzarella balls for go-go that are like in a little pack. Cut those up. I had steak, cut that up, put it on some tortillas that were like the crumbs at the bottom. Ate that with a fork. Delicious.
Girl dinner.
I got to go back because it's not true. When we go to Barrio, I do eat the nachos.
The Barrio nachos are fantastic.
They really are good. So yes, Andy's looking at me like, "What are you talking about?"
Right. You're like, "Yeah, we had nachos last night."
Sounds delicious.
So often.
I love. I'm trying to think of some Mexican thing I don't like. I like everything. Mexican cuisine is phenomenal.
It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
There's
my
no doubt about
favorite.
it.
Chips and salsa is like my meal so many times.
Well, it is National Taco Day, Kristyn, so you can go out and get a couple of tacos. You're good to go.
So excited. Gives me an
Andy,
excuse.
No, probably not.
Are there any Mexican restaurants in your town?
Yeah.
I thought so. There's a good one, isn't there?
Yeah, really good.
And
I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of eating Mexican food for the next few weeks.
Well, yeah, that's true. You won't be.
Nope.
We'll talk about why later. Andy's pregnant, but we haven't told anybody yet.
Well, you can eat Mexican food when you're pregnant.
But you can't eat Mexican food without drinking a margarita. So
That's true.
also true.
That's where I always get caught up.
There you
Give
go.
him one margarita.
I actually don't like margaritas at all.
That's my drink of choice.
Is it really?
I just tequila. I hate tequila.
Tequila on the rocks with salt. Just one. That's all I need. It makes me giggle. It makes me so happy.
Kristyn, did you ever hear my tequila story?
No.
My good friends over in St. Paul on the best restaurant, Mexican restaurant I've ever been to. They opened one in downtown Minneapolis and invited me to the opening, right? So I go in, and the owner of the place says, "Tom, I would like you to try this very special tequila." And I said, "I don't know if you want me drinking tequila." He goes, "No, it's really, really special, and I really want you to try it." I found out later, by the way, that the bottle that he served it from was like a couple of $1,000s.
Dang.
This
Fancy
was,
tequila.
Ancient tequila was, I don't know what the hell it was, but it was very expensive.
And you're like, this tequila has turned.
So here's the problem. So he brings me almost a full glass of tequila.
Not the one you want.
Like, whoops. So I'm drinking it. I'm kind of sipping it and going along and all the rest of it. And yeah, I mean, literally, it must have been like $300 worth of tequila. And I'm drinking it. So I'm not going to well, I'll just not finish it. I mean, I got to finish it, right?
Yeah, you have to.
So I finish it, and he's coming at me with the bottle again. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm going to give you more tequila. And I said, wouldn't do that if I were you. And he goes, why not? And I said, because I'm really pissed off and I don't know why.
That's right. If you give me more tequila, I might kill you.
I might kill you.
Tequila makes you dark and moody.
Tequila's like,
yeah, we don't need that.
I'm hyperventilating, staring at people.
Tequila, I'm in a fit of giggles. It makes me so happy.
That's wonderful. See, that's how it should be.
And that's why I'm like, one margarita just puts me in a great place, and that's all I need. Nothing more.
I understand completely. So Catherine and I are starting to hit the wall. We are wrapping up so many. We watched the last episode of Deadlock. I think I told you that. We've only got, we watched a couple of last episodes again last night. We only got one episode left of Lioness. I mean, I got to find some new shows to watch.
You've got 46 episodes that are 90 minutes long of Endeavor.
Right. We do still have Endeavor, so that should take us through the winter anyway.
The Endeavor Marathon.
That is a good show, by the way. Very, very well acted.
I know, but I was like, don't tell me you're hitting a wall.
Well, no, not in that particular area, but it all works out in the end. I just, Catherine and I literally, we go our own ways and do our own thing all day long and all the rest of it. And then around 7:30 every night, we get together and sit downstairs and watch a couple of things. It's very, very nice. I like doing that. We tend to like the same thing. She has her stories, I guess, and I don't know if I have my stories or not. We tend to like the same things. Well-written drama, we like that a lot.
I mean, have you guys gotten through Succession? I know you were starting to watch that.
We're what are there, 4 seasons, right?
Yeah, and Hollywood Reporter this is why it's at the top of my head. They were naming like the top 50 shows of the 21st century so far. Succession's number 3. So I was
really,
yeah. What do you guys think number 1 is? I just would be curious to hear what you would think is number 1.
Number 1 drama. What is it? A number 1 of what?
It's the number 1 TV series of the 21st century so far. It's just one of their top 50 lists. What was yours?
Game of Thrones?
Not Game of Thrones.
Can it be a comedy, or does it have to be a drama?
I will just tell you, they're all dramas that I'm seeing. So in the top, no. Number 4 is a comedy. So you can say a comedy.
I would say Stranger Things is probably got to be up there.
What's the meth one? Breaking Bad.
Is that 21st?
Breaking Bad's got to be up there.
Breaking Bad's on the list. It's not number 1. The series that's number 1 is a little bit it ended its run in 2015.
Really?
Oh, dang. Got to go back in there.
Was it?
If I want me to sing the theme song as a hint?
Sopranos?
That's number 2. That's a really good guess.
Number 2.
Sing the theme song.
Ready?
So it's called Out of Tune?
Besides that,
honestly, I know that you think you're giving it to us right now, Kristyn.
Mad Men.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I would agree with the first several seasons. That last season was terrible.
I agree on that last season. People argue with me on social media because I've been like, that season 7 was atrocious. And people are like, it's so good. He was the Coca-Cola guy. And I'm like, no, that didn't make any sense with Don Draper's storyline. Sorry to spoil it for anyone. It ended in 2015. You had time. But but other seasons, if you go and watch season 4, that is a masterclass in acting. It was so good. Elizabeth Moss and John Hamm, they had some scenes together that season that were just epic.
I love January Jones in that show. Whatever happened to her?
She's out there and working.
Is she?
Yep, and she's a big little social media star too.
Oh, is she really? What is she like?
Yep.
Why is that?
She's funny. And I think I sit there and I think she's being underutilized. I think if someone found her a really great comedy, whether it's a movie or a TV series, I think that she would be just hilarious and be a big breakout star in this.
Yeah, I always liked her on that show. That didn't end well though. Her on that show, did it?
Oh gosh, Betty Draper's storyline was just so dark.
Right.
And even for Sally, their daughter, it was a rough go. And you forget, my mom oftentimes would watch Mad Men and we'd talk about the episodes, and she's like, yeah, people would, go to their neighbors and not think about the kids. They'd go and check on them like 2 hours later while they're, you're over at your neighbors smoking and drinking, and you'd come home 2 hours later. I hope the kids are okay.
Yeah, I mean, God, just thinking back now, because I'm kind of glad you brought this up, because you look back at Mad Men, which I absolutely loved, except for that final season. The Sopranos, I thought, was great from beginning to end. Look at TV from the year 2000 till today. TV has gotten better and better and better. It's amazing.
Yeah, some of the other so The Sopranos was number 2, Succession's number 3.
Okay.
Number 4, this is where the comedy comes into play, 30 Rock. Which
30
I know
Rock came in ahead of The Office.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
The Wire was number 5.
Okay.
30 Rock wasn't funny at all.
Okay, shut your mouth.
I think 30 Rock is funny.
30 Rock is so funny.
It's a great ensemble comedy.
Barely watched any of it.
Because Alec Baldwin's on it. I
Yeah,
can't
but
stand him.
You like when they talk face block or whatever, or my face.
Yeah, My Face. That was good. I was just on My Face.
Better Call Saul is ahead of Breaking Bad, which I think is interesting.
That's another mistake.
Yeah.
Better Call Saul
Girls is on the list. Freaks and Geeks. BoJack Horseman. That's the top 10. Daily Show's number 11. So.
The Daily Show.
The Americans.
I love BoJack Horseman, but I honestly don't even know how to recommend that to people because it's so dark. And everyone thinks it's going to be a comedy, and it is not.
It's a very specific audience that would watch that.
I have a question for you.
I tried watching it. Wasn't a huge fan.
No. Are you telling me The Office didn't make the top 25?
Wait, let me look. I'm trying to find it.
I scrolled through the list and I didn't see it.
Wow.
It's not even on the top 50.
Very
That
hard to
show was
believe.
Phenomenal.
I don't know about the top 50, but it wasn't like top 20, not top 25.
Oh,
from what I saw.
God. I mean, that show is always funny. Always.
I saw Kate Flannery last night. I was at Dancing with the Stars, and
Wonderful.
she's so great. And by the way, she is like the nicest woman ever.
She is. She's a very nice person.
So kind. And she did the show a couple years ago, and she's always a big supporter and comes back. And by the way, your listeners, I've got to tell you, I was sitting behind the judges last night. So I was on camera most of the show.
Mhm.
Dang.
So many of your listeners were snapping my photo and sending it to me. So on commercial breaks, they're like, I see you. And I'd be looking at my phone and I'm getting like this weird meta, like alternate universe of like photos of me on TV while I'm watching the show live in the audience.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was really sweet. I really appreciated it. And I know a lot of them were looking at the behind the scenes photos. I put up a ton. If you're looking for it, it's on my Facebook stories, my Instagram stories. And it was really cute though. I was like, oh my gosh, Tom has the best listeners.
Our listeners are the best. They tend to be very smart people. They tend to do well in life. They're happy people. So, I mean, that's the kind of people we like, right?
Yeah, they're really kind. They're always writing really nice messages. So I appreciate it.
Andy, is this not happening?
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything.
Okay, if you've heard something, that's great. But if not, it's not a problem. Okay, so you just mentioned a bunch of. How the hell could The Office not make the top 50?
That is really.
I looked. I didn't see it on the top 50. Did anyone else see in the top 50? I was scrolling.
That show is hilarious, and both of them were the British version and the American version are both great.
Both excellent, which is very rare.
The cultural impact of The Office was extremely high.
Yes.
Whereas, like, when's the last time you heard someone reference The Americans?
Right.
I couldn't name a single time in my life. Whereas The Office, it's like you can't go a week without hearing someone talking about it, even though it's been 20 years almost since it started.
Okay, we have to have Brittany deliver her favorite line from the show. She does it so well. I love it.
Okay, so it's Michael Scott talking about his views on things, and he goes, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
That is one of the greatest lines
So stupid.
of all time.
It's so stupid and good. It's just
I'm
like
a little stupid.
it just goes, oh, I love that. I also love when he's looking at his mug that says "Best Boss Ever" or
Yeah.
like "World's Best Boss," and he's like, "Do you like that?" Yeah, I got that for myself at Spencer's, and you go, "Ooh,
Spencer gifts.
that you bought it for yourself is rough."
Does Spencer still exist, by the way?
I wonder.
I don't know.
No, I believe so.
It always had such a weird smell to it.
It has like a
Really?
patchouli smell to it.
I went into a Spencer's one time in my life, and I was like, "This isn't the place for me."
No, it's not the place for you, Andy.
Yeah, there's one in Roseville, one in Bloomington, and one in Blaine.
Oh, I didn't even know it still exists. I don't think we have them out here on the West Coast,
No.
at least in the LA area. I haven't seen
Maplewood,
any.
Maple Grove, St. Cloud. There's actually a lot of them.
Yeah, pretty much every mall. I would say,
Spencer
in the
says
Midwest.
such a weird vibe because it'll be like goofy, and then straight up like boobs and vagina, and you're like,
Yep.
what? Yes.
It's like
The
sex
calendars,
toys
the beefcake
and-
calendars.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
It's
Yep.
very unique store to walk over.
Chippendales used to sell their calendar there.
Dang.
Oh, did they really? The Chippendale dancers?
Did. Yeah, back when the Chippendales were like a big thing in the 80s, you know, that pop culture moment. Oh gosh.
Isn't
So
that
funny.
wonderful? God, I'm never talking to Hollywood again. How you didn't include my show on your top 50? Get away from me.
Yeah, Tinseltown, suck it.
Tinseltown.
How dare you?
I agree. Pisses me off to no end. What the hell?
What the hell?
And by the way, the extended versions are even better than the original version.
I got onto the extended version because of you.
Phenomenal.
It's so
They're
fun.
so good.
But there are some times you go, that was good they cut that. Like
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I suppose.
By the way, speaking of Chippendales, has anyone seen the Welcome to Chippendales series?
No, is it good?
Yeah, it's so good. It's on Hulu.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, I was like, that's a really good series if people haven't checked it out. And it's about the formation of the club and what happened. I mean, it's like just drug, sex, and rock and roll. It's fantastic to see how it came to life and then took a really dark turn. And you're like, this is such a wild story. There's a great podcast too about it called Welcome to Your Fantasy that also goes through more of the factual aspect of it versus the Hollywood version of it. But both of them are excellent if you're interested in the story.
So it should be. You have to be interested in the story.
Yeah. And the Chippendale story is juicy. Like it is one of those that I was like, what a wild time to like live in Los Angeles and New York.
I would imagine so. You know what? That's one thing that does break my heart is when I watch the news at night, because I've lived in Chicago, I've lived in New York. I never did live in LA, but that bothers me that two of the cities I lived in that I just loved are just being trashed. Makes me sad.
You know, I visited both. They are, you know, they're cities. They're a little bit more dangerous than they were a few years ago, but
yeah.
Well, but what you're seeing is the news version. You know what I'm saying? Because I live in a city and I get it. Like there are aspects of the city that are maybe more dangerous that need to be taken care of. But living in a city or visiting New York or visiting Chicago, the experience is still there. And don't let the news scare you. That's what I want.
When 100 people storm a store and break down the front wall and steal everything, that does more than just bother me. How you can be that big a pig piece of turd, I will never understand.
Agreed. The smash and grabs are ridiculous. They're ridiculous. And, you know, here in California, we have a law that, you know, doesn't punish them. But I'm like, we're at a point, I'm like, if you're going into Louis Vuitton, if you pick up a keychain, it's like $1,000. So, I mean,
I know.
So they need to start going after that.
Get a job.
They probably have jobs. That's the crazy thing. Like they probably have jobs.
Now, this whole idea that now people can get away with whatever the hell they want to get away with drives me crazy. You're telling people, oh, go do whatever you want. We won't charge you with a crime. Don't worry about it. Why would you do that?
I'm interested because, you know, I follow it a lot because it does happen here in California, but people are starting to like trip the people who are looting because people are frustrated, you know? And so I've seen them as they're all running out the door, like people have like tripped them or they've yelled back at them. And I'm like, it's the maybe, and I hate to say this because I don't want this to happen, but I feel like it almost has to escalate for people to really take it seriously and do something.
But hasn't it escalated enough? People are getting killed every night now.
Smash and grabs. But see, when the smash and grabs turn violent, that's when people are going to like, oh, okay, law enforcement will be like, we're going to do something.
Yeah.
Lawmakers, okay, we have to do something.
Don't you think it would have been a good idea to never let it happen in the first place?
That would have been great.
How about the fact that they're accusing Target of being racist for shutting down stores that are too dangerous to have open?
Yeah, I don't know that that's racist.
I don't
if
either.
If you look at it, any store and you're like, hey, this store is losing money because we're getting robbed all the time,
right?
Then yeah, shut it down. It makes business sense.
Do you think there are a lot of news anchors that love to use the word racist because they think it makes them look, oh, I'm all supportive?
Well, yeah, because you're going to get people that are always ready to like jump on a cause or click on a headline that says racism because it's a very, trendy word to throw around. So then you're going to get, like, let me see if Target's really racist so I can be woke.
But a problem I have with that is when real racism occurs, nobody notices.
Oh, no.
So why are you doing that? Don't do that. Right?
Right. Well, it has a lot of like the fight the man aspect to it. Too. Oh, we can tear down the huge major corporation that is Target.
What if they ruin the career of Kristyn Burt? What are you going to do then?
Well, then that would be racist.
See, that's racist.
Because I'm eating a white person taco night.
Right.
A white person taco night.
White person taco night.
With her margarita, yeah, and her beef tacos, yeah.
She's got a margarito and beef tacos. Boy, you're loaded for bear there.
I love it.
All right. Anything else in Hollywood that's really, are you looking forward to what's coming out of Hollywood in the future? Because television's great. We had Michelle Mann in the Mann Theaters when you were on yesterday. Were you impressed with her?
Yeah, I thought it was a great conversation. I loved asking her some of those questions about, obviously their business model has changed and like how they've had to adapt to audiences' choices and preferences, whether it's the, concession stand or whether it's like seating. I'm sure that they're noticing like those event films are going to be big for them. They're going to have a huge weekend with Taylor Swift. They're going to have a huge weekend with Beyonce. And I think the more that the theaters embrace it too, it just makes for like, you can have fun event nights. You can do things in the lobby because people love a good photo op for social media. The more times you offer those opportunities, the more times people are going to come out and buy a ticket.
I'm not kidding. You go to a movie theater now, particularly a Mann theater. Michelle's a friend of mine, so I'm going to support my friend, right? It's not like if you're thinking, oh, I don't want to go back to everybody's all squished together and it's all the people. It's not like that anymore. They're big, very comfortable chairs. You can put your feet up. You can raise the temperature or lower the temperature on your seat.
What?
If anybody walks in front of you, they have plenty of room to get by, even if your feet are up. It's a completely different experience than it used to be. But I will tell you one thing about Michelle's family that pisses me off. I didn't get to buy Grauman's Chinese Theater. What the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
How cool would it have been to own Grauman's?
Yeah, TCL owns it now.
Oh, TCL does?
TCL owns it, and they run the Chinese theater. And the Egyptian, which I believe the Mann's family, I meant to ask her that yesterday. Yeah. I believe they also owned it. It's now owned by Netflix.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that whole area is really interesting. Like Hollywood is not that well maintained. However, if you went and just did like a theater visit, you could visit the Dolby Theater, which has a fabulous backstage tour if you like the Oscars. Next door is Mann's or TCL Chinese Theater. And then across the street is the El Capitan, which Disney owns. And then right down the street is Netflix Egyptian. And they're all beautifully maintained, restored theaters. I love that aspect of it.
It kind of makes me sad remembering the Kodak Theater because I got to believe it ain't the Kodak Theater anymore.
It's the Dolby Theater now.
That's what I thought.
I worked at the Kodak Theater. I used to be there.
Really?
Yes. So I was their media representative. And so when the Oscars would come and there'd be international media outlets and things, I would give them like a backstage insider look of like what happened at the Oscars, where the actors went, give them facts of like, the statuette is 8.5 inches tall, like that kind of thing. Or I guess it weighs 8.5 pounds, like all that kind of stuff. And it was really a fun job because it was all surrounding the excitement of the Oscars.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. Is there any story that sticks out as like the most incredible or unbelievable? Like what's your one, oh my gosh, moment from that job?
My gosh, I have so many moments, but I think some of my favorites are people don't realize, and I think for the winners, they obviously understand when they get their Oscar and then they go backstage, they're like put up this like back elevator, which is like nothing. It's just like an old industrial elevator. It takes you up though to the second floor, and there's Winner's Walk. And Winner's Walk is literally a line of photographs of all the people that came before you, like big epic moments. And you realize like you have just joined the ranks of a very elite group. And it takes them like down this long hallway to the hotel next door. And then when they walk into the hotel, they're greeted by the media, like all the cameras. And so it's like a really glamorous, like crazy introduction to be like, you just got like a membership to this very cool club.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's really neat. And if you do the tour at the Dolby Theater, by the way, they will show you Winner's Walk. So if you ever have the opportunity to go and stand on that stage, it's fantastic.
Can I just call it Dolby Kodak?
Dolby Kodak. I still call it the Kodak out of habit because I was at the Kodak for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's an old photo of me floating out there somewhere on the internet, like polishing an Oscar.
Oh, God. Is it one that you won?
Yes, I stole an Oscar. Don't tell the Academy.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I've had like a million random little jobs in the entertainment industry, but I will say that was one of the coolest ones I've ever had. It was so much fun.
Bet.
Well, your career has been pretty damn cool. You've worked for a lot of great people, a lot of great places.
You know, it's true. And I forget sometimes, like I'll tell stories and I'm like, oh yeah, this happened. And people are like, what?
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen? I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I was just like in the right place at the right time or met the right person or through a random connection, wound up here and found myself in an extraordinary place.
Well, the only problem you did have was all great, but then God paid you back by having you work with Jesse.
Well, that was also through a connection too, because I was living, so I was living in Minneapolis working for Shop NBC, which I think it's a different name now, Shop HQ or something, but I was working for the Home Shopping Network. And my professor at UCLA, I'd taken a course on celebrity interviewing with him, happened to be working on Jesse Ventura's show. They were trying to launch it at MSNBC. And he was working as a segment producer. They were originally supposed to film in LA, that he decided to change it to St. Paul. And so they had to fly the whole crew back and forth every single week, which was crazy.
Oh,
and I don't know who the newscaster was, but they had a local Minnesota newscaster as his newsreader. And he hated her because she had covered him as governor. And he was just like, get her off set, blah, blah, blah. And so in a panic, like the day before that they were going to tape one of the shows, he's like, can you just come in and sit in the newsreader desk? And I don't have a news I mean, I have an entertainment journalist background,
right,
but I don't have a classic broadcast journalism background. And I was like, sure, I can read off a teleprompter. And so I just like came in and they were like, if Jesse says black, you say white. If he says up, you say down. So they wanted me to constantly debate him. But that's how I wound up on the show. And they just kind of kept me around because he tolerated me. You know, I didn't irritate him enough for him to get rid of me.
I can relate.
Yeah, exactly. You're close, but
you're like, this is a very relatable sentiment.
Right on the line.
Very relatable.
So
yeah, Jesse and I used to be friends, but we have not been friends in years now. So when did you work with him?
That was 2003.
So Jesse and I haven't been buddies in over 20 years. My
Sounds
God.
about right.
Yeah, it's probably about right. I guess that's it. All right, young lady, a hell of a report, I thought.
Thank you. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Moving with those hands again. She's talking with those hands. We'll see you
Bye.
tomorrow. Yeah. See you tomorrow. We'll be right back right after this. Wrap things up.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
What can Hubbard Interactive do for your business? Let's take a listen and find out what they did for one local company, Steve the Window Guy.
I'm Sally, and I'm a digital brand strategist here at Hubbard Interactive. We met with Melissa from Steve the Window Guy, and she was looking for help with their video advertising strategy. So we helped build a comprehensive plan for streaming TV and YouTube ads.
And Melissa, tell us how it's been getting your message out with help from Hubbard Interactive.
I've been working with them for 5 years, and what I've learned is that they have both the experience and the depth inside their team to help me solve any creative marketing challenge that I've got. So over the years, I've moved from streaming TV to YouTube ads, and now we're moving towards SEO. And I'm loving the results that I'm seeing.
Is there anything else you want business owners out there to know about Hubbard Interactive?
I am so grateful for the entire team at Hubbard Interactive for effortlessly understanding our business and our marketing vision, and then always delivering only the best results.
To find out how our experts can help your business grow, Get in touch today at hubbardinteractive.com.
Hey, you know what I don't get? Why is that company always telling you to just do what? What is it? To just look like everybody else? Or maybe just pay way too much for your shoes? Well, at Skechers, we know what we want you to do. Just slip in. That's right. Just slip in to new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because we think once you try a pair of Skechers slip-ins, you're not going to want to just do anything else. Why? Because slip-ins are the easiest, most comfortable shoes ever. You don't have to bend down to put them on. You don't even have to touch them. Heck, your hands can be forward. You can just step right into them and go. They're that easy and comfortable. So what are the secrets behind Skechers slip-ins? It's like they have an invisible built-in shoehorn, so your foot slides right into place. Then our heel pillow technology keeps your foot comfy and secure. And slip-ins are for the whole family, men, women, and kids, in all your favorite styles. So just slip in to Skechers Slip-ins. It's just that easy. Find slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Susan has always wanted to live in a chateau. I like a certain je ne sais quoi. While Jake is more into the Cape Cod style home.
It's a classic look.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Susan and Jake found a Cape Cod style home where they will only speak French.
Bonjour, je t'aime, merci beaucoup, and cordon bleu.
You'll get better with time. Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, back here, Tom Barnard Morning Show. I'd like to close out the last about 5 minutes of the show. So, you got plans for game 2?
Yeah, I am going to sit with my lucky bobblehead. I'm not going to do anything. What time's it at? Tell me everything.
3:40.
3:40. Where can I watch it?
It is on ESPN, right?
I believe so, yes.
It'll go on any streaming service you got.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. All I'm doing the rest of the day is studying. So I definitely will throw it on the old tube.
Studying.
I know. I have a pharmacology test on Friday and I'm a little scared.
Failure. Anyway.
You're going.
I'm going where?
To the game.
To the pharmacology test.
Today, yeah. The pharmacology test.
It's like your worst nightmare.
Any minute now.
Do you not know the answer?
I am going. I was invited by Josh Arnold to go to the game today. Catherine and I are going to go. 3:40. What I love about that is we'll be home by 7 o'clock.
That's so fun.
I love that.
What food are you going to eat there?
I don't know. I don't know what they got going, but I'm ready.
I'm ready. I love eating at the Twins game.
So I agree.
How many playoff games are there?
Great question.
There's a 3-game set of this one. They won the first one, but if they win today, the series is over.
Oh,
and they just wait to move on to the next.
And I think there's 3 rounds. So if they win in the next, if they make it to the next round, they win that one, and then they go to like the semi or final to get to the World
Are they
Series.
7 and 7 game sets?
I believe so.
They're
They're 7 and 7. After
Are the next series also out of 3 games?
No, 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
When you said
She
7
doesn't
and 7
listen. She
games,
doesn't
I didn't know what that
Listen to a
meant.
word that anyone
I'm
said.
sorry. I didn't know that terminology.
Does that?
I
You're
literally
kinda like
wrote it down.
What was the guy's name who just got fired? Kevin McCartney. What's his name?
Oh yeah, that's. Should we
Same
vote?
story.
Should we vote right now?
Wait, can you guys wait till I leave to vote me out?
Vote her out. We're voting out Brittany.
So wait, just to clear up. Next series is out of 7, and then the next one's out of 7, and the World Series.
I
is out of
believe so.
7.
It's either that or it might be 5. I'm not sure how.
Andy, would you
baseball
look
works.
that
I
up,
just
please?
started becoming a Twins fan.
You did.
Go
Diehard.
You've been around me your whole life, and you haven't been a Twins fan.
I actually, by
I'm
proxy,
not really a baseball fan in general. If I had to pick a team all my life, I'd pick the Twins just because I like all the other Minnesota sports teams. But now, we believe.
We believe. We believe, baby.
So I'm here.
I've got
my
a lot
Twins
of
hat.
cute Twins gear. I'll wear it tomorrow.
Andy, if you notice, I'm wearing a Twins hat for the first time in 18 years.
You've worn it before.
No, I haven't.
No?
I've worn blue hats, but not a Twins one.
You've had that hat in mothballs for.
I mean, look how
18 years.
good, look at the shape it's in. It's in
Pristine.
It looks, it looks
Pristine.
brand new.
It does.
It's pristine.
See, there you go. So I'm very excited for game 2. We got great pitching. Gray's going to pitch today. I got to believe the Twins can walk away with a 2-set 2-game set.
Yeah, they're going to need some more help from people not named Royce Lewis.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because I think
we were out hit yesterday.
Yeah, I think counting on him to hit 2 home runs every game is probably not the best way to advance through the playoffs. But
true,
it's always nice to know that you have him, and he doesn't seem to have lost a step due to injury.
So is postseason the same thing as playoffs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's between 32 and 53 games, depending.
What do you mean?
Oh, like in totality to
it says depending on how deep each series runs. I don't know what.
Yeah, but how long is the series?
That's deep. The deepness is what we need to figure out.
How long
Which
are the
is a weird
series? The
sentence.
first one's 3 games.
Well, let's see. 2023. I guess it's different every year, but 2023. How many games are there?
So
Like what in the next? How many? Yeah.
Here's the schedule.
Also, First Ave came out with merch for the Twins, and it's super cute. They have like hats that have all these little stars on it and then say Twins. It's very cute.
So we were against the Blue Jays?
Yep.
Okay.
3-game set.
Okay. I have no idea.
It doesn't say what the next round is.
The next round is versus the Houston, whatever that is.
The Houston Astros.
Sure.
But how many games is it?
Doesn't say.
I'm pretty sure it's 7.
You know what? We'll ask tomorrow. Well, if you
really.
Judd, we'll ask Judd tomorrow. He'll know.
Not talking to Judd. Forget it.
Because it was my idea, even though it's your idea.
I gotta believe it goes 3-7-7, doesn't it? I don't know if
that
the only
feels
reason
the
why.
most
I mean, that's how it
likely.
used to go, but they've changed a lot.
I'll check my email. I bet you listeners are writing in.
Oh, that's probably true.
Put my computer away because we're about to make a transition. But
on kind of a sad note, do you think this is it for Buxton? The fact that he got hurt yet again.
Oh, my Buxton.
I really loved watching.
I don't know if
him
it's
play.
it for him as far as a play. Like his career will continue. I think it is going to be tough for him, I think, to stay here because now all of a sudden with Royce Lewis, I've never met Byron Buxton, but if he's the type of person where he was expecting to be the star of the team and kind of face the franchise, I think that ship has definitely sailed.
Well, it's just unfortunate because he not only assumed he was the superstar at times until he got hurt, he played like a superstar. But he just kept getting hurt because he played so hard, I guess.
And I think too, like if he does stick around long term here, and he is okay with, taking kind of a secondary seat to Royce Lewis and Royce continues to play well, then like, could you imagine that combination of a Byron Buxton that doesn't have all the pressure on him to carry the franchise? So maybe he doesn't get hurt as much. And now you have 2 very, very solid players to help you in the playoffs.
God, that is exciting. I hope they win today. That'd be so fun.
That'd be great. I'll be there.
Yes. It's because just being in that stadium and like even just around downtown, everybody's happy. And it's like this town is definitely much, much better when whether it's the Twins, the Vikings, or the Wild are doing
it's
well.
So exciting. I loved hearing the audio and the crowd just go absolutely wild. It's just so fun. We used to live pretty close to the Target Field. And so we'd go to a bunch of games, and now I haven't been to a game in forever. But it's fun. Even when they're losing, it's fun to go sit at a game. And Byron Buxton's one of those people, if you ever got to see him play when he's at his best, he is one of the most athletic people Byron Buxton. When he's not getting hurt, he will do something with strides where you go, he's making it look easy, and I know it's not.
All right, I'm going to hold up a picture, and you tell me who this is.
Okay.
Who is that?
Kent Herbeck.
Look at him.
That's Kent Herbeck, right?
It is, but look at him.
I only know it because his number.
I was just going to say that's the only other old-timey Twins player I know.
Do you see that?
Not really.
He looks
you can't see it.
like he's got.
He looks like he's about 16.
I know, and he looks like he's
probably
got
is.
still hope and isn't like as whatever kind of
Let's see,
vibe.
when
Like
did Kent Herbeck? Let's see. He was born in 1960, and he started with the Twins in 81. So he was only 21 years old.
Wait a minute, Herbeck is 63.
Yep.
Herbeck.
oh my God. Can you imagine when we talked to him on Friday? How
I swear to God, when I talked to him Friday, I thought you were like 37 still.
he acts like it when he
Oh
does.
my God.
He does his birthday every year in Vegas.
Yeah, he does.
Like what a 20-year-old
shame him.
female. I love it. Are you kidding me?
Don't shame
The more I find out about Herbeck, the more I love him. He's so crazy.
Oh, he's a wonderful guy.
He's so funny.
Like I said, my favorite thing he used to when every person on the team was pissed off at me, he'd pretend in front of them he was my best friend.
That's
it was hilarious.
funny.
Tommy, how you doing? Great to see you.
Oh, Joe just sent me the picture.
Oh, he sent you the picture. Good.
Apparently, Joe
Yeah,
had
Joe,
it too.
thank you. Yeah, Joe's the one that ran across it.
Yeah, but he's pretty young there.
I mean, so he's got to be, what, 23 years old there or something? If that.
Yeah, early 20s.
What time are you going to head down there? How, Tevin, you give him some advice. When should he start driving?
3:39.
Yeah, I mean, I left my house at like a little after 3 o'clock.
But you live just a few blocks
it was like the 2-block walk, and like getting in the stadium, it took like 5-10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
That's pretty good.
You're gonna
they're
Uber?
pretty efficient.
I think we are going to Uber, yeah.
Good call.
Although getting an Uber out of there might not be too easy.
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster getting out.
Yes, these are going to have to drive because if you take an Uber, we'll never get home.
You'll never get home. We'll see you in 20 years.
Yeah, and I'd recommend
20 years
parking a couple blocks away from the stadium, because driving right around that stadium is also a disaster.
So it is. It's unbelievable. I cannot tell you how much I look forward to it. Don't you have to go home, sister?
I do, but I was going to wait till somebody got here, and I think somebody finally did.
I think it's probably Nana.
No, I think someone's here.
Where's Alex? Why didn't she come in? Where's Alex, Catherine? Have you talked to her? Oh, he is. Okay. Okay.
Is he ever not running a fever?
Hi, guys.
Do you want to help her?
Sure.
Judy, how you doing, Judy?
Judy. All right. Well, we want to do the transition between shows then.
Yeah, we're going to transition right now. Thanks, man.
So how should we do this? You think just hit the intro and then there you go? I guess once mom does.
As soon as
mom's
Nana
ready.
sits down, you'll be good to go.
Yeah. So we'll just call this the end of the third hour.
I like it. Welcome to the family with
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
Tevin Pittman.
And Andy Barnard.
Alex is not here because her son has a little bit of a cold.
He has a fever.
He always have fever. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
he had to leave school yesterday because he had a
Oh,
fever.
he did?
And then you can't bring a kid back to school for 24 hours after they
I thought it was 48. I don't know. I guess it depends on the place.
Well, he's got this cold yesterday.
He
2
just
days
spikes
ago.
fevers though, and then the next day he's just
Yeah, he
absolutely
sure does.
fine. He's just one of those kids. When he was teething, he would spike fevers. When anything, and then sometimes he'd spike a fever for 2 hours and then just be fine. So I don't know what that means. I mean, a fever is an infection of some kind, but he's fine. I'm sure. I think I texted her. What's going on?
I'm just looking at the guest list because
Why do you have 2 computers? Are you that important?
this is all just
because this one doesn't work.
That one doesn't work.
I thought we had it fixed.
Oh, it's been a couple of weeks. They've been working on it now.
It's been a
Mine doesn't
while.
work?
No,
No, yours
like
is fine.
the monitor here where he would
that
normally
monitor
see
doesn't
the StreamYard doesn't work. So
So I have
then
to
we
look
have
at
that
this.
one for the
For
StreamYard.
heaven's sakes.
I know there's a laptop that's supposed to be in here. It was messed up, so we sent it in, and it's been a long time. I don't. So must have been pretty broken.
Oh, why didn't they just send you a new one, like a Dyson Airwrap hair dryer?
What?
They just send you a new one when they break.
Oh yeah.
That's
They say keep the old one, and
Yep,
then they
that's how
send you a
things
new
are
one.
now. Yeah, you try to return it. They're like, no, just what they do often is they have you cut the cord. So it's like you cut the cord off, you send them a picture to prove that you broke it, so they can send you a new one to prevent people from like scamming them and having two.
No, they didn't even make. me
Which
do
is like
that.
it's such a what a waste.
It does seem like a waste.
It's like just wreck the old one so you can't profit off of it, and then we'll send you a new one. We're not going to bother trying to fix it or
I know.
scrap it for parts or anything.
I know it doesn't seem very climate pledge
It is
friendly.
definitely not.
No, it just does not seem like that's a good idea. But whatever.
It all works out in the end.
Yes, I guess
You
it
know,
does.
Catherine, you're going to get pissed off at this. I'm telling you.
Not me.
Because I did. They released the 50 top shows in
Well,
entertainment.
but this is like just someone's opinion, I think.
Oh,
This
I
isn't-
thought it was like.
I thought so too, but no, I think it's just like the people over at Variety or whatever the hell magazine it was.
Yeah. What was it?
The 21st.
Hollywood Reporter or something like that.
It was, yeah, Hollywood Reporter. So it's like the Hollywood Reporter staff's opinion.
Oh.
So it's not actually the most viewed or anything like
Oh,
that.
okay. Just the best shows of all time.
According to these
Hollywood
people.
All
Reporter.
time beginning
Which makes more sense. 21st century.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like there is no way The Office isn't in the top 10
Top 50.
shows.
It's not even in the top 50.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you don't think it should be in the top 50?
No, I'm just saying, I don't know. People pay to get on these lists. Just
Oh,
so
really?
You know. Just so you know.
That's what I'm thinking.
I
People
suppose,
pay,
yeah.
PR people want residuals for their people.
You know what the
so
number one
they
show
just
was?
Lie.
It's going to be tough.
Do the theme song.
Yeah, where's Kristen Burt when you need her?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Mad Men. You hated that show.
I did not hate that show.
Well, you didn't like it.
I did like that show.
Oh, not the last couple of seasons.
Well, he was such an asshole.
That's kind of the idea, I think.
It is the idea. He was such an asshole, but it was a well done show.
Yes.
What was interesting about that show is they were highlighting how obnoxious all of these people were. And
every college
and then everybody
guy,
started acting just like them.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
That's a very
It's
good
like
point.
you're missing the point.
I remember everyone walking around with the slicked back hair
I
and cheap
know.
suits
It started
on. It's
that
like,
whole, what was that? After metrosexual, it was sort of that Mad Men thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was called. It was some sort of movement in men's
was.
wear and what they drank and everything.
Well, it was a good show, except the last season I thought was terrible.
Well, not most shows have a bad year. Most of them.
And a lot of them are just the
I don't
last
know of
year.
any show that hasn't had a really bad season.
Yeah. And a lot of times I feel like it's at the end because they're trying to milk out one last season before they cancel
that's
it.
a good point.
Yeah.
All right. We have never seen this before, and we're not going to get, at least I'm not going to get serious about it because I don't really give a rat's ass. But McCarthy got voted out. GOP scrambles to find new leader. So you got your Speaker of the House been kicked out. You got the former president, Trump, has been indicted. The current president is under investigation to be indicted.
And his son is having arraignments now.
Yeah, he's probably going to jail.
And we got that Department of Defense guy had a dog fight ring for 20 years. He just got
tell him about
arrested.
that. Tell that story. That's a great story.
I don't know about this.
Yeah,
Oh,
department. He was
God.
the Department of Defense Communications Director, or
Tevin's cousin, wasn't it?
I don't think
Of
so.
course, it's a black guy.
He was running a dog fighting ring, which was so unbelievable. If the dog didn't die in the fight, they were clamping. They were electrocuting them with jumper cables.
Electrocuting dogs in their house.
Frederick Douglass Moorfield. He was a DOD official.
Yeah, he was the guy that talked to everybody about the Department of Defense. He was like he was way high up there.
Communications official is all they've said.
With big clearance.
Where did he live that he could run a dog fighting
For
operation?
20 years.
Yeah, where do you live? You can do something like
He's
that.
electric. Jody, don't listen to this story.
I'm guessing Baltimore.
And also, this guy, he needs to go to prison.
Well, one thing.
Just like Michael Vick did back in the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, he should be.
President Trump, when he was president, he had some executive law that he got done saying that anybody that does something like this gets 7 years in jail. And I don't think Biden even dared to delete that one. I mean, he deleted almost everything.
Yes, he did. The first thing he did was pass like 1,000 executive orders saying everything
he just
Trump ever
deleted
did
everything.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, he just redlined everything, which
Yep.
I didn't know that it was so easy to do that.
I know,
I didn't think that an incoming president had that much leeway. But anyway, so I hope he does get 7 years because that's a really obnoxious, horrible
really
thing to
is,
be
yeah.
doing. And 20 years, no one blew the whistle on this guy.
I know. That's amazing.
You would think that somebody would have been in one of these dog fights and felt terrible about what was happening and would have said something to somebody.
It's crazy to me that there's an audience for that.
Yeah, dog fighting.
Well,
Who
and
doesn't
then to
wanna
watch
that
them
anyway?
be electrocuted after, they're all beat up and they didn't die enough. I mean, my God.
And it looks like it was in Annapolis. So what is that?
Maryland.
Maryland?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the news the last couple of days hasn't made humanity look too great.
You know, there's another huge strike that just started now.
Some pilots were threatening to strike.
The largest U.S. healthcare strike in history just began. So now there's a
don't get
healthcare
sick.
strike.
Don't get sick.
Yeah, do not get sick, otherwise you're going to be in
Too
big
late
trouble.
for that.
Why? What is the largest healthcare industry? United Health?
I will
Or
look
is it-
for
Yeah,
you.
I hope it doesn't affect me because it's
Yeah, you're
real bad timing.
Yeah, real
Kaiser
bad.
Permanente, so I don't care.
So it's out. Where is that?
I want to say New York, but I don't know why I want to say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it is.
It is
Union
in.
workers.
Oh, never mind. It's Oakland.
Oakland, California.
Well, they're
Oh, it's in
they're
Oakland?
headquartered in Oakland. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But it's all over the country.
Yeah.
There's like 39 hospitals nationwide.
Hawaii, Washington, Oregon, California, Colorado, Maryland, Virginia, and Georgia, and DC.
So they provide coverage for nearly 13 million people.
Oh,
wow.
Jesus. And they're on strike now.
Yeah.
What is this all about?
I don't know if they have
What are they striking about?
struck
Wages?
yet.
Oh, I
Well,
think it's wages.
they're picketing. There's a picture of them picketing.
Oh no, yeah, they just went on strike like a few hours ago.
Yes, right. So that's a new one. We're
fun stuff.
We got the auto workers. We got
I think United Airlines. They're
That might be right,
threatening
yeah.
to go on strike. When I was flying out of Newark, I saw some big billboard talking about the fact that they're going to go on
I think
strike.
there's workers in Vegas that are potentially striking as well. Like a lot of the.
I didn't think they were a union state.
No.
I don't know. I saw a headline the other day that was saying that some of the service industry. So there must be some sort of union out there
Must
where
be.
they're.
It says Kaiser workers won't be silenced. Silenced on what?
Who the hell knows?
You'll have to read the story.
It's one of those things that just sounds good but means nothing.
Well, that's probably true. So do you think it has to do? Well, first of all, there's something went on behind the scenes that we don't know about because everybody now thinks they're severely underpaid. And I'm not saying they're not, but everybody in America thinks they're severely
That's because
underpaid.
inflation
for you.
and
Yeah, that's
everything
true.
costs too much. Social media, especially TikTok, is filled with all of these people saying, I work a full-time job. I can't afford 60% of their income goes to rent.
60%?
60% goes to rent, and they can't afford to save anything. They're never going to, they can't afford to put anything aside for a house because if that's how much of your income goes to rent, you're paying taxes on top of that. You've got not much
Basically
money
nothing
every
left.
single
No.
month.
And especially if you move into a place that is going to be less expensive, it's going to be in a more dangerous neighborhood.
Right.
So
You're
it's like
stressed out.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah, it looks like the healthcare workers, of course, that popped up. They're trying to get $25 an hour as a minimum wage.
That's a pretty big minimum wage.
Well, it depends on what kind of
what they're saying,
healthcare
yeah.
worker it is. I
It's
mean,
$1,000 a
would you
week,
want-
though, so it's not that much, really.
Yeah, would you want to work in a hospital in California where your taxes are crazy
That's
high and
true,
cost
yeah.
of living is psychotic? I don't think you,
Yeah,
I
could
don't.
you-
It's
you-
like New York. There's no way you can live in New York unless you're making $25 an hour.
Well, you can't even
And
then.
you're not living large.
That's not even enough there because
No.
it's only $52,000
No, well,
a year.
if you have 5 roommates and take the subway,
Yeah, well,
you're okay.
Yeah.
You're okay then.
that's exactly
Those
it.
videos of people like, here's what $3,000 a month gets you in New York,
Yeah.
and it's like a hallway with
Yeah.
a toilet.
No.
Yeah, yeah. And you're sharing it, and
Yeah.
you're sharing the toilet and probably the hallway. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's so. What are they going to do about this? I mean, even so, they're asking for $25 an hour. That's not
Yeah.
enough to get by on anyway.
No, and it looks like Kaiser proposed $21 or $23 an hour, depending on what location you work at. So
Oh,
Okay.
well, 23 seems almost there.
yeah,
I mean, how are they going to live? That's not unless
I don't know.
the husband, wife, and all the kids work.
Well, because Oakland's right by San Francisco, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Oakland's right by
Yeah, it
San
can't be
Francisco.
cheap to live out there.
No.
Oh God, no, absolutely.
And
not.
Oakland has gotten real rough. A friend of mine's sister had lived in Oakland for years and years and years, and she got out.
Oh, did she really?
She lived there forever.
God, remember when we used to go to San Francisco? We had so much fun. God, it was great.
It was a great town.
But that was what, about 20 years ago?
Now it's a feces covered crap hole.
It is indeed. How old were you? And you were what, about 14, 15 when San Francisco?
No, I was like 19.
Oh, you were 19?
19, maybe 20.
One of the great things I will never forget, and I've mentioned this before, but we're at a magnificent restaurant that Catherine and I ate at. So we took the kids to it because it was so wonderful. And the server, the woman comes up and looks at Andy and Alex and her friend. And she goes, "Oh, you look like you're all over 21," and poured them all a glass of wine.
I don't even think they were 16.
They're like 16,
No,
17, and 19.
I was at least 18.
They're very much more European about drinking.
Yes, they are in San Francisco. We loved going to San Francisco.
Yeah.
It was so great. And then it's
That was
it's
one
just
of my favorite cities.
a disaster.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Sad. But what are you going to do? That's what
I
people
know.
want. So that's what they get.
Yep, exactly.
If
That's
they
what they
didn't want
voted
it,
for.
if they didn't want it, they wouldn't have it.
But here's what I don't understand. It's not that I want anybody to die or perish or live in the streets or whatever.
Well, that's nice of you.
You made the decision to become a drug addict, so deal with it.
Well, they say it's not their decision to become a
Oh,
drug
it's
addict.
not?
No.
Yeah. And I mean, there are some people that, because you'll get the news where they'll go out and interview everybody that lives in like the tent cities. And stuff. There are some people that are like, we would rather live in this tent because the housing that the state provides isn't safe or isn't that great. So there are some people that make the decision to live out there. But yeah, sometimes, especially with the drug stuff.
Almost all of it. Yeah. Because you hear those interviews all the time of people that live in the tents. And it's like, yeah, almost everybody here's a junkie.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be a junkie? I've never understood that.
Because they do those highly addictive stuff. I mean, look at how many people. Look how many people became addicted to prescription pills.
I know.
During the whole OxyContin thing.
Mm-hmm.
The doctors were pushing it, and because they were told it was safe, they were lied to. And that's caused an entire crisis in the Northeast and a lot of small towns.
Have you guys seen these vans? So I was driving down Lake Street by kind of the Target that got burned down and rebuilt.
Oh yeah, just off a Nicollet or whatever.
Yeah, kind of by like the precinct or whatever that's over there, and off whatever that is, Highway 5. Anyway, so there was a like red truck that was handing out like free sterilized needles.
Oh
yeah,
like,
that's the new
like
thing.
That's I was like, why would you enable? And I guess I get it better than dirty needles, but wouldn't you try to say, hey, let's get you off of drugs?
I don't understand. I believe that it is enabling. I don't think that it's good for people. When people say, "Oh, what do you care what they do? It's their life." I don't know. It's if you've got any humanity to you, it hurts you to watch people hurt themselves.
Yeah.
I don't even like watching people box and smash each other in the face. It's like painful to watch. It should upset you to know that these people are hurting themselves every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not healthy. They're not doing this because they're in a good space.
No.
This is not a good thing.
No, you don't become a heroin addict if you're doing well.
No. I guess they're going to do it. And so there's nothing we can do. Handing them clean needles, I guess, is kind of a good thing. But what are they don't even know what they're putting in their veins half the time.
Right. And if you're going to give free needles, like there should also be something next to the free needle thing. Like, hey, we also could help you potentially get off of heroin or whatever your drug of choice might be. Like, I don't know. It was a very weird, bizarre thing to see just people handing out drug
paraphernalia. Do they have those methadone clinics anymore? Or is that just for heroin addicts, or does methadone work?
Methadone is for heroin addicts, yes.
It doesn't work for anything else?
Well, it works for any opiate.
Is fentanyl considered an opiate?
Yes.
Okay, so most of these people aren't doing heroin anymore, right?
No, I think they are.
They are.
It happens to have fentanyl in it because it's cheaper.
Okay. So they could do a lot more methadone type clinics or something and get people, listen, if you go on a methadone clinic, you get in here, get drug tested, you get a house, you get an apartment or something. That's bribe them into sobriety.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Your friend said, or the person around you said, well, what do you care? It doesn't bother you. Yes, it does. We have to pay for it.
Well, it's not only the paying for it.
I know it's not only that, but we do pay billions of dollars.
Well, there's an industrial complex around this. You know, there are a lot of people that make a lot of money off of helping.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they don't want to solve it.
Yeah. Well,
the government throws tons and tons of money at homelessness and all of this stuff. Nothing gets resolved. Nothing gets done. A few, very few, I don't even know what the percentage, it might be like 4%, actually take permanent housing and get off the street.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sad. And we throw tons of money. We support, I don't know how many charitable organizations. There is so much support and there is so much money being thrown at this, and it is not working. And you've got to wonder, is the money actually going to help people, or is it to keep it a department of, feel good people, that don't do anything in $300,000 salaries in the government?
We have a phone call, and that would be from Joe.
It's a drug dealer?
Yep.
Joe.
I hope not.
No, you clown. I'm an alcoholic.
Okay, never mind.
Drug
Sorry,
consumer, not dealer.
What's up, Joe?
There you go. Speaking of addicts and alcoholism, a lot of people don't really have a choice when they become an addict. It's like with me, when I was in treatment 3 years ago, our therapist told us that we were basically screwed from the get-go because of being, number one, having coming from a family of alcoholics. Number two, it's in the genes. It is in the genes. If somebody's predisposed to drink, they're gonna drink whether they want to or not. Some people, however, can get away from that, like my dad did when he was younger. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to break away, and I just fell down that dark rabbit hole and wound up in the situation I'm in now. Some people do try to get away from it. As you know, I tried treatment before, wound up going back into drinking. It's any number of things can lead you back to drinking. Any number of things can keep you away from drinking. Same thing with drugs. Any number of things can lead you to drugs. Any number of things can keep you away from drugs. My brother's father, for instance, was a big-time drug user. My brother wound up using drugs as well. I thought he was just smoking weed, but I found out towards the end of his life that he was also using crack.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
And that really pissed me off when I found out about that. It wasn't until many years later that I realized that he didn't really have a choice in the matter. Now, a lot of people say that they don't believe that it's, the science and stuff, but what this guy told us, it's like shit started falling into place. It's like, yeah, okay, I can see it now. When people ask me how my brother died, I tell them, he got sober. Believe it or not, that kind of did take a lot into effect of him dying, because he died working on a car. Well, he always used to work on cars, either drunk or stoned or both. And I learned that when you take away something like alcohol, and you were doing something and you're used to doing it that way, and then suddenly you take the alcohol away, you forget things. And he forgot something, and it cost him.
Is it something he forgot, something you can talk about?
Well, he forgot to chock the back tire of his girlfriend's truck when he jacked it up.
Oh, sure.
And he was starting around the transmission, and he knocked the gear lever out, and the truck rolled back on top of him.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I used to work with a guy that happened to. He died. Car crushed him.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have been scared of jacks my entire life.
Oh, I
will
bet.
never go under a car that's been jacked up unless it's at a
No.
garage. Hell no.
No.
Joe, it's interesting because
what
you were saying about, the family and all the rest of it. Because I started drinking when I was 11. I quit drinking when I was 21. And then I started drinking again when I was like 31 and did for many years. But then when Catherine had enough of that.
Three times.
What?
Third strike, you were almost out.
Oh, God, here we go. But what's weird about that, Joe, is the fact that after drinking again for 25 years, I quit that day and I never drank again. And I didn't have any negative reaction.
No, not
It's
everybody
weird.
can do that.
I know.
Some people can, like Joe just said.
But one thing I will tell you is a couple of years after that, so this is about, 15 years ago, something like that, Catherine and I went out to dinner and I ordered a non-alcohol beer. And I had 2 non-alcohol beers, which they brought out in
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. Turned out to be full alcohol beer, and it didn't affect me in the least. It was weird. Why would that be, Joe? Do they know why it affects some people the way it does? And when people like me, it's like, whatever. Why is that?
Probably brain chemistry.
I guess, yeah.
When you drink it, it literally rewrites your brain chemistry.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Like I said, some people can walk away from it with no problems.
Yeah.
I walked away from. I didn't have a choice walking away from it. I spent 2 weeks in October 2020 in a blackout drunk stupor.
Oh God.
Jeez.
And I was told by my mother that if I ever wanted her help again, it was her or the booze. And Melanie said the same thing. If I want to stay with her, it's her or the booze. You know, and like I said, some people have people that scare them away from it, and others don't. I found out from my sponsor, who I also work with, that half the people we were in the treatment house with are now dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very common.
Yeah, they couldn't stay away from it, and it's like, I understand. You know, the struggle is real. I mean, it's a daily struggle for everybody, no matter what you're doing, drugs, alcohol. Some people with that struggle. Other people have others to help them along in that struggle.
Right.
And there are still others that blame the user on that struggle when it's not really their fault, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's their fault that they took the drug in the first place, but they weren't aware of the further consequences down the road of it until they're stuck in that hole, and they can't really find their way out of that rabbit hole. Some people can, some people can't.
Right, but enabling them doesn't help them, right?
No, it does not.
No, and that's
but,
why,
you know,
yeah,
like you're saying, some people that would rather live in, you know, tent cities if they can stay away from the shelter housing. Because I've done that road before, many years ago. I used to work at the Dorothy Day Center in downtown St. Paul.
Oh, sure. Yep.
On the overnight shift, and there was a lot of people that would constantly sneak around doing drugs, and even if you say something to them, they get really defensive. They get all up in your face saying, "No, I wasn't doing anything." 95% of the time, it was a black person that was doing it, and you just say, you know, take it outside, and they just get right up in your face, play their race card. No offense, Tevin, I know you're not like that, but
yes, he is. He's horrible.
And it's like, we know what you're doing. You don't do it around the kids. Take it outside if you got to do it. Keep it out of here.
Right.
And you know, on the other side of the coin, it's not just drugs and alcohol that people have to be aware of. It's also the sexual assaults and sexual harassment that can take place and has taken place inside shelters.
Oh, I bet.
Well, it also happens on the street too. In the tent cities, it's not like that's a safe place to be.
Oh God, I wouldn't imagine those tent cities are real safe.
No.
I would not imagine.
But you can't walk into a shelter with a baseball bat either.
Oh, that's true.
Well, that's a good thing.
And in tent cities, they have people that it can happen, but there are also other people there that can, you know, if you're screaming out for help, people in shelters kind of like, well, I'm just going to keep to my own little corners, keep to myself. And there's not really enough staff to go around keeping an eye on everybody.
No.
But if you're in a tent city and you know how to help, you got at least 20, 30 guys there with bats going, who can I kill?
Thanks.
What an amazing story. Isn't that amazing that a thing like drugs, alcohol, whatever, just ruin human beings?
I know. Well, I think the state of Minnesota has purchased 7 hotels, maybe more, for the homeless and drug addicted. And apparently some people will not move into them because they have rules that you're not supposed to have visitors.
Right.
Because I mean, otherwise it's just gonna become a drug dealing place, most likely. So there's, I'm just not going to go there because I can't have visitors. I mean, you could go outside, you could go to a park and have visitors. You could, but I don't know. For every solution, there seems to be a problem.
Yeah, but in the middle of winter, it's easier to do it inside than at a park.
Well, I know, but yeah, I mean, you have to have some rules, just like shelters. They have to have some rules. You can't just be doing whatever you feel like doing in there. I don't know.
What's interesting about that is look at my brother Troy. Troy was the one brother in the family that just could not stop, because Terry stopped, I stopped, Todd has stopped now. Tony pretty much cut it way back after a while, but Troy just never stopped and it killed him.
Yep.
And he was the youngest brother of us all.
A good friend of ours, daughter, she got started on at 16. I think it was fentanyl and some other stuff. And she said, I don't think I'm going to live through this.
Jesus.
And she overdosed at, I think, 21.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once you do that first hit of heroin,
I know. I always used to scare the crap out of you kids about doing drugs.
She did.
Heroin in particular, you often don't come back from that.
Yeah, I was like, hey, don't know. I was really.
You can't just try it and see what it's like, because you can be permanently addicted right there.
Yeah, I saw a million years ago, there was a documentary on the people that live in the subways in New York City, and how they were interviewing all these people. And this is years and years ago. And all these people live in the subway.
Yep.
Down there in the dark.
Yeah, they do.
Disgusting rats. Dark, awful. Yeah, nasty.
Like the size of Jude.
Yeah. And
the rat.
And these people were saying, I did it once. And I just couldn't. I've been chasing that first high
chasing the dragon
ever since. And I just can't stay away from it. I had a great job. I had a great family. I have nothing. No one will talk to me. I've got no money, and I'm living in the subway, all so that I can chase that first high. And I know I'm doing this, but I'm still going to do it.
Kind of. So, do you think part of it, Joe, and you might be able to jump in here very quickly, because the people that I grew up with were not big drug people. They would smoke pot or drink beer.
Well, there was also a stigma to it back in those days.
But not in my neighborhood. You could get it. You could walk out your front door and buy it right there.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yeah. Drugs were everywhere.
Especially back when you were growing up. That was like the big crack epidemic and stuff like that, where it was, it's like going to the grocery store and buying a Gatorade. You just go out to the street and get it.
I grew up in a family. If I would have done crack, my dad would have killed me for me. So I wouldn't have survived either way.
That is kind of interesting. My friends did drink too much. There's no doubt about that.
Once again, I would have been killed.
It killed a lot. Well, as you know, it killed about 90% of my friends.
Yep.
Because they drank too much. So is that any better or any worse than taking drugs? I don't know.
Oh, addiction's addiction.
Yeah. Joe, what do you think of that?
Well, an addiction is an addiction, no matter how you slice the pie.
Yeah.
And Coke didn't really get introduced into the United States until the mid 70s, early 80s. So that monkey wasn't around for a while. It was just weed and peyote, I think.
Heroin's been around forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's been around. That used to be the painkiller of the old West.
Yep, Bayer. They invented it.
Really?
Yep.
Bayer invented cocaine?
Yeah.
No, heroin.
Oh, heroin. Oh, I didn't know that.
Bayer heroin. They'd sell it in little bottles at pharmacies.
Because isn't there technically like medical grade heroin?
I bet.
Like it has a medical use.
Yeah, it does.
Supposedly it is the world's best painkiller.
It is.
And supposedly if you use it for pain control in a controlled environment, you don't get addicted to it.
That's
so when you start using it recreationally.
You're not supposed to slam an entire syringe of it at one time. You're supposed to like slow drip it. It's like,
I think it's still used in some hospice care in some countries because it is such an effective painkiller.
It's cheap. It definitely can cure pretty much any pain, but it is, The reason they
say the same thing about opioids.
Well, heroin is an opioid.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing. It's all an opiate. Yeah, the reason they invented heroin was because the people were getting addicted to, I believe, laudanum at the time.
Yeah.
Which was a drink that had, I think, codeine in it.
Yeah.
So
all those old westerns.
Yeah. Anytime anyone had a
There's always
headache,
some strung out bordello worker.
anytime anyone had a headache, they'd reach for a bottle of laudanum and they'd chug it down. They'd get addicted to it. So Bayer was like, let's how about a painkiller that isn't addictive? And then they made heroin, and then that turned out to be 100,000 times worse.
I don't think any painkiller is non-addictive.
No, there's no such thing as a non-addictive
No.
opiate. Not really.
What is it? What makes it addictive? What does it do to your brain?
It's kind of
chemistry.
Hard to describe.
Yeah, it
but
rewires your
basically,
chemistry. It
yes.
also it lights up areas in your brain and makes some
Really?
some people feel really good. Like when
Yep.
I had been given
It's that
oxy.
dopamine level.
Yep, I had been given OxyContin for a surgery, and I just hated it. It made me feel terrible.
I remember when I was a teenager, I had that fake Crohn's flare, whatever that was, and they gave me a bunch of Vicodin for that, and I didn't like the way it made me feel at all. But now, as an
some
adult, it
people
doesn't do that
love
anymore.
it. I've had friends. Oh, you got some oxy? It's the greatest stuff. Don't you just love it? I'm like, it's horrible.
It is the best painkiller in the world.
You'll realize who your quote unquote crackhead friends are when you get like a major surgery. Like, did you get oxy? Did you get like, okay, calm down.
Got any extra?
I got some
extra?
Tylenol. Like, you'll be all right.
I've had a bottle of my leftover OxyContin. I think they gave me like 30 or something. It was
30?
my knee surgery. That was very painful.
That was a long time
I have
ago.
to say.
Yeah.
I still have 4. I every once in a while break one in half if I have a migraine that I can't get rid of.
Yeah.
But that's been like 10 years.
Well, I mean,
it probably doesn't even.
Yeah,
it's
they're
probably
probably
not even.
expired. Very
It's
expired.
way
Yes.
expired. But I'm like, I'm going to keep this around just in case.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, I got my hernia surgery, and they gave me like 6 of them.
Well, now,
They don't give you
good.
crap these
They
days.
shouldn't give you
Nothing.
too many. They should just be able to manage the pain and not get you addicted.
Well, there's a difference between too many and not enough, though.
Yeah, but there are other pain pills that aren't as addictive that you can go on after the initial really bad pain of a surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Bong hits help too.
What has helped?
I said bong hits help too.
Oh
There
yeah,
you go.
yeah. I don't know. Do we?
And it's not addictive.
I don't know about the coughing after a hernia surgery, though.
Oh,
Oh God.
There you go. Go the gummy.
chew a gummy. Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I look at all this stuff, but I just kind of wonder because I've never done that stuff, so I don't even know what it feels like.
You've
And
never
it-
taken an opiate before?
Well, maybe an opiate, but I was talking about things like heroin and that.
Yeah.
I did cocaine one time and it did absolutely nothing.
I think when you had your hernia surgery, they gave you some.
They
Oxy.
must have.
Well, probably that's probably true, but it wasn't like, oh, I feel great. I mean, it never.
Some people don't.
They just don't. So maybe that's why I'm not a drug addict because it never did anything for me.
Yeah.
Well, same thing with alcohol. A lot of people are like, I just don't like it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Don't do it.
So is that a genetic thing? I would imagine.
I have no idea.
What do they say about that? Do they talk about genetics when you're in treatment at all, Joe?
As opposed to what?
No, I mean, you're in a gene pool. It's not looking too good for drug addiction or alcoholism. Do they talk about that?
It all depends on your relative, your ancestors, I guess. My dad drank, my aunt drank, my uncle drank. My dad was able to break away from that at a very young age. I was like 5 years old when he quit drinking. When I actually, before I even started at Ford, working at Ford, I had quit drinking for like 4 or 5 years. And then I started working at Ford, didn't really have much responsibility, was making a good paycheck, so I started drinking. I thought I could control it.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong.
Well, that was a good
Now,
neighborhood to
it
drink in,
started out-
too.
Huh?
That was a good neighborhood to drink in, too.
Well, it didn't really get out of control until I moved down here.
Oh, okay.
Because, at first it was just on the weekends, a pint Friday and a pint Saturday. Then it became a pint on Sunday, and then eventually it evolved to a pint every day after work. And then it gradually grew to a fifth until I was putting away 2/5, 2 pints and a half pint every 24 hours.
Whoa. 2/5 and a pint?
No, 2 fifths, 2 pints, and a half pint every 24 hours.
How much is that?
A fifth is a bottle of liquor.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yep.
I would throw up so hard.
I would
never
too.
be able to. That's a lot of booze.
That's quite a bit.
Man, you're lucky. You are lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been told that.
Yeah.
God. I've seen it though. I've seen some guys that can hit it really, really hard, and you can't even tell they're drunk. It's really
That
weird.
is true.
Yeah, there
they
was this-
drink and they don't even show it.
We used to know this very skinny little guy down in Florida. He was, I don't know, 70.
Talk about Billy.
Yeah.
That boy could drink.
He would have a tumbler of vodka in the morning and just drink them all day long.
All
and
day.
he never seemed like he was drunk at all.
Yeah. Never.
Until later. Like around 7, all of a sudden he'd had to kind of be carried out.
Yeah, you see the legs start to get a little
But, I mean, I
shaky,
can't even imagine.
No.
He was one of the owners of the
Yeah, some
Pittsburgh
people-
Penguins.
I wasn't going to talk about his family. Jeez.
I'm not talking about his
Some
family.
people
You know.
some people can't function unless they have that booze
Yeah.
Yeah.
all day.
Mhm. That's true.
Some people have been told that if they quit drinking, they're going to die.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it can happen.
Yeah. Well, I had a friend that he used to party very, very hard. And then when he kind of got his life together and stopped doing all the hard drugs and drinking as much, his body, like, he started having seizures and he had a bunch of complications as he was kind of going through the detox process. Because when your body's so used to getting those chemicals,
Yeah.
and now you don't have them, it kind of freaks out.
Well, your nervous system is in a depressed state for so long that it adjusts and makes that the new baseline.
Mhm.
Then you take away that depressant, suddenly your nervous system is way overactive. You'll start getting shakes, convulsions,
Yeah,
seizures.
that's why people go into that chemical detox. They,
Yep.
yeah, put them under
Mhm.
for
Yeah,
like
that's what happened
10
with-
days.
That's what happened. Go on. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. That's okay.
Oh, I said that's what happened with me when I quit. Is I started having the shakes and I'd get really hot.
Yeah, the DTs.
And there was also hallucinations for many years. Many months. I kept thinking that I was hearing a radio playing, and it would drive me nuts because I couldn't find it. And I also had hallucinations of people dancing outside my windows. And then there was one really weird hallucination where I'd look at my the carpet in my bathroom, and it looked like a line of Obi-Wan Kenobis were standing there dancing.
Well, at least that was a fun one.
No, that's when I realized that it's time to quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that'll
just
do it.
want to start thinking about quitting.
Yeah.
Might want to.
Yeah. You don't need a sign from God.
There was kind of a sign
Just
from
needed the
God.
force. You needed to be guided by the force is all.
Yes, that would be scary.
Apparently.
That would be scary.
Joe, how many years ago did I meet you at your parents' house?
Oh, good Lord. It was 2017 because that was the year I got my first C-Max.
Okay, so 6 years ago.
And we drove it. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I'm asking
Did
that
it
because
last?
I don't remember when I met you, you didn't seem like you had a problem.
Well, I really didn't then.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, that it just progressively got worse, and also I know better than to drink around mom.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good. By the way, that I had such fun that day. I don't know if I ever told you that, but Joe was very surprised because he called me and asked me to come to his house to meet his parents, and I hadn't met Joe yet either. I went, yeah, sure. What the hell? Showed up and sat by their pool and schmoozed with him for about 4 or 5 hours. It was a fun day. Remember that, Joe?
Yep.
Did you at least like know him from the show? This is just a
Nope,
random.
I had never met Joe in my life when he called and said, hey, come on over.
That's
very trusting of you.
Yeah, it's a
And
little.
like, and I'm not saying like Joe doesn't seem like Joe doesn't. Yeah, Joe doesn't seem
Joe's
like
untrustworthy.
a person. But like, if a stranger called me and was like, "I want you to come over and meet my parents," I'd be like, "Let's meet in public first."
Yeah.
That was in Invergrove Heights, so it wasn't that dangerous.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
What?
Now it makes sense.
Never mind. See, Joe, they're saying I shouldn't have done it. You were surprised when I showed up. I remember that.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Yeah, but you and I have actually talked on the phone quite a bit before
you
even came over.
Okay.
So there's that.
Yeah, there is.
That's a bit better. As long as it wasn't like just a random message and you're just out here meeting
a
strangers.
DM. Hey,
Yeah,
sure.
Well, not to mention Joe's been like calling into the show for it was years before that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that I retract my statement.
I guess.
Like
Then there's the text. I think he was okay with it because you should see some of the texts that made Doc and Pass rip each other apart with.
Oh my God.
Probably
He's laughing.
Yeah.
You should see these Doc and Jeff Passold emails. It's like, are you nuts? These
Emails are not text messages.
Well, some are emails.
For the last time.
Some are emails and some are text messages.
I think they're all texts.
Yeah. Pass does send us emails, Captain. So does Doc.
I can just tell that this is a conversation you've had a million times. Of that is an email, not a text
I'll
message.
text time. Oh, I got your email. I'm like, I didn't send you an email. Yes, you did. I'm like, oh, it's a text message.
What's the difference? As long as I got the message.
It's a difference. An email is an email. A text message is a text message. Just go with it.
I stopped getting irritated about that a long time ago.
Yeah.
The message.
See, you say correspondence.
Oh, yeah, your correspondence.
My correspondence.
Some sort of electronic correspondence.
There you go.
I was
your EC
sent. I don't
be all
know
bad.
how it showed up, but
Well, Joe, do you think we helped anybody out today by listening?
Huh?
You think we've helped anybody today by listening to this?
That's entirely up to them.
It is entirely up to them.
No control.
It's on them to take the first step if they want to quit, if they want help. I mean, I've said it before. I'm available anytime to talk to. I've actually since I quit drinking and started talking about it on your show, I've actually had a few people reach out to me and ask, and you got to take that first step. Speaking of that first step, has anybody heard from Paulie lately?
I have not at all.
No, it's been a long time.
What do you think?
Oh, I try not to.
You think it's bad?
Well, I know he's listening. We thought it was a bad deal when Mike from Blaine disappeared, and
he's back.
He came back
a few months later, and he's back.
It's been like 6 years, I think.
He came back a few months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But and from what I gather is he had to deal with something, and he had to separate himself from what he knows to do it. Maybe Polly's the same way.
I hope so.
You know, what I've been through with alcoholism and what I've seen friends and what I've seen acquaintances go through it, both bad and good. I hope for the best for everybody that's dealing with it.
Yeah.
That
is true.
All it takes is to reach out to one person that cares. I've read many articles and the comments to these articles. People are saying, well, they don't want to quit. You don't know that. Oh, I tried to help them quit. Well, okay. Did you hold their hand, or did you say, you need to do this on your own? Or did you say, I'm here for you if you want to reach out? See, there's a difference.
Yeah.
Saying, well, you don't want to quit, or if you don't want to quit, it's no, actually, it's not on me. Kind of.
You can't help anybody that doesn't actually
quit.
want to. Yeah. Well, that's one thing. Mike Lindell from My Pillow, whatever you want to think about him, I don't really care. That guy will act. I mean, people call him for help. He will get you help.
He will. Yeah. He's great to people that way.
Yep.
See, that's the one thing I
with addiction.
He is one of the best addiction recovery stories I've ever heard.
Yep. He sure is, and he'll help anybody. So.
Yeah.
Maybe human beings should learn that to judge someone on their face just because he didn't believe in the election. And by the way, Do you know how many elections have been rigged in this country over the past? I'm not saying that one was, but I'm just saying.
What is every election that's probably ever
Exactly.
been had in the
They're
history of this
all
country?
cheated on every election. So to go after somebody that hard, but he did believe in Donald Trump, and he's a good friend of Donald Trump's, all the rest of it.
And he gets to do that in America.
Right.
Well, no, you don't. Actually,
Not
I guess
anymore.
Actually,
You
you
can
don't.
only believe in the right
That's
person.
right. You cannot believe in him, or they will get you.
All right, we have a caller for Joe.
Oh, Joe, you got a call.
Yep.
Maybe it's a good call.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Joe. This is Neil in South Carolina.
How you doing, Neil?
I am doing all right. I'm loving your conversation, and
thank you.
I did want to call. I wanted to give you a shout out. Several months back on Tom's Facebook page, I posted a funny meme of Mike Lindell with James Hetfield's face on that cutout. And it said, "Gripping my pillow tight." Which I thought was hilarious and perfect for Tom's page, considering it's freaking Mike. And some trolley ass clown jumped on me. "I can't believe you like Mike Lindell. You're a horrible human being."
Whatever.
I'm like, it's freaking funny.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's hilarious.
Right.
And Wendy chimed in and started talking trash to these two guys.
All right.
But then Joe goes, "Hold on, Wendy. I got this."
Joe came to the rescue.
Which I appreciated. But it's like, also, I'm incredibly sarcastic, and I'm having fun with these guys. So, I mean, I kind of got it under control, but I just thought it was amazing. And that just goes to show how close your listeners are that don't even know each other.
No, it is amazing how you people you have these friendships all across the world, and people from different countries become friends. It's just wonderful. I love that.
Right. Yeah, growing up in
remember
Minnesota,
that
living
post.
here. Do you? Yeah, I still see that guy. I don't know if I should say his name on there or not.
What happened, Tom, was he posted that meme, and it was funny, and I laughed at it. And I think I know who you're talking about. Just went nuts. And I said, "Look," I said, "we're here to have fun. There's no political bullshit allowed. You start getting political, and I'm gonna toss your ass out of here."
Yeah.
And then he started getting mouthy with me. I said, "Okay, goodbye."
Oh, well.
Yeah, that was great.
What are you going to do?
And Neil, if I'm right, I tossed both him and his wife out of the group.
Oh, good stuff.
Get out.
Right. You can leave and take your wife with you.
I shouldn't let stuff like that even get to me, but I'm like, I'm about to drive up to Charlotte here and hop on a plane to Minneapolis because this guy's pissing me off.
Yeah, please don't.
So Neil,
Please
where'd you grow up, Neil?
Richfield.
Oh, you did? Okay. How'd you end up in Carolinas?
They're beautiful.
My sister, I know you guys had a great trip, didn't you?
Oh God, it was beautiful.
I love
I have not been to the Cashews. I messaged the Catherine to go to a Cherokee, and because you guys were on the Blue Ridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, Cherokee. It's amazing how you're driving through the mountains. It's just nothing but windy roads and beautiful scenery, and then you come out of the tunnel, and you're like, "Holy shit, there's a casino!"
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, stuff is carved into the woods.
Yeah.
That you would never know if you didn't if you didn't hear about it.
You get to Gatlinburg, and it's like, all right, Las Vegas had a baby with the state fair, and here's Gatlinburg.
That's a good take, Neil. I like that.
I'd head up the road a little bit to Pigeon Forge. It's not as crazy as Gatlinburg.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that's a good place. So you live in Charlotte?
No, I live in Greenville. Well, technically Malden, but it's like the Richfield of Greenville, South Carolina.
Right.
Oh, because there's a Greenville, North Carolina too, right?
Yep.
It's confusing.
That's not the one. I think we'd like that one better because we are mountain folk. So,
you're mountain folk from Richfield?
Yeah, not a lot of mountains in Minnesota.
That's why they moved.
I like the mountains too.
We did move up to Two Harbors for a while.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, okay.
We lived right on Scenic 61, just before you get to town, and that was pretty amazing. It was colder than hell, but
but you got to go to the new Scenic Cafe, didn't you?
I drove past it every day.
I love that place. What a great restaurant.
I don't know if it made it through COVID.
Really?
New scenic
I don't
cafe.
know. I don't think it did.
Oh no!
But if you're up that way, you got to go into the Vanilla Bean.
There you go.
They have the what is that? Oh, they have the corned beef hash.
Mm-hmm.
It's the corned beef is braised in what's the brewery up there? It's braised in their beer, Castle Danger Brewery.
Oh, Castle Danger,
oh,
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just amazing.
New Scenic Cafe is still open.
Oh,
is
it's
it?
still
Okay.
open. Yay!
Okay.
I love it. Love to hear
Yeah.
that.
We'll be heading back. We're coming Thanksgiving week, so might try and make a trip up there.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, honest to God, Neil, I love the fact you're calling in. And Joe, I love the support you get when you call in. A lot of people call in, maybe not on the air, but they call in and talk about how much they love it when you go on talking about these things. That's kind of nice, don't you think?
Well, there's a lot of people.
The fact that
There's a lot of people struggling with addiction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have I won't go into details, but I've been there, and it's hard. It's hard.
It is.
I've been through some stuff that I had to. When he was talking about the predispositions and how sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it's not your fault. As far as addiction goes, is I have degenerative disc disease and spinal stenosis, and I've been snowboarding and moving hot tubs, pool tables, and out FedEx for my life. Had to have surgery about 10 years ago, but before I had the surgery, I was on Vicodin for like 9 years.
Oh,
yep.
And I was actually taking less, and I had to stop that cold turkey, and that was very unpleasant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And
what a world.
Back to pushing the pills. Used to have a doctor in Bloomington. He was my primary care, like since I was a kid. And this was probably when they really started pushing opioids. I went in there for because I had the flu. He's like, all right, we're going to give you some antibiotics. Are you achy? I'm like, well, yeah. You're like, crap. He's all right, well, I'm going to give you a prescription of some Percocet.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell's Percocet? He's like, oh, it'll help with the pain.
Mm-hmm.
He gives me a bottle of 40 with a refill.
40 with a refill for a flu.
Wow.
God.
Wow.
Later in life, I think I was like maybe not even 18 when he did that. And I was talking to a Richfield friend of mine, and his dad was sitting in the garage. And he's like, oh, yeah, I love that doctor.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to get a lot of dental work. Every time I got some dental work done, I'd get like 2 weeks worth of Vicodin.
I don't think they would do that anymore.
Now you can.
If I was a doctor, nobody would go to me. I'd be like, no painkillers for you. You're going to become an addict.
I just had to have a broken, infected tooth pulled. I had to do it on a Sunday because I couldn't need time off of work. So I drove an hour and a half by myself, not thinking about the drive home.
Oh.
And it took the dentist like 2 hours of drilling and pounding, and it was just the worst. And he gave me an ice pack and some Advil.
Yeah, they won't give you anything anymore. You could have a grenade go off in your mouth, and they'd be like, take some Tylenol.
Yeah, I recently got my wisdom teeth out, and they gave me like super strong Tylenol, essentially, is what it was.
Yeah, they went overboard, and like they don't give you anything for anything anymore. It's like they used to give you. Yeah, they used to give you like a pallet of Vicodin for a stub toe.
Pallet.
And now it's like you have your arm severed, and they'll be like, one Vicodin will probably
that'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in the military, they just say drink more water and walk it off.
Well, I don't know what you guys would get, but every time I'm crawling so sick I can't even hold my head up. They're like, "You're fine, go home.
Yep.
It's a virus."
Rub some dirt
Oh,
on it.
I'm like, for 3 months.
That's the FedEx law. Life, if you're sick, too bad. Like even through COVID, where we were working at like Christmas numbers for damn near 2 years because no one was leaving the house.
Yeah.
I mean, I had COVID, and they were like, "Don't tell anyone."
Don't tell anyone.
And don't sneeze on the packages.
Our little secret.
I don't feel very good. You're basically in a truck by yourself most of the day.
Yeah.
Don't sneeze on the packages.
And that was, of course, I had to get it like a week after they stopped paying people to stay home.
Oh.
Of course.
The driver who probably gave it to me, he was like, I had 2 weeks off, fully paid. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
All right, we only got about 2 minutes left, so I want to run something by everybody, including Joe and Neil. I don't know how he does this. I have no idea how he does it. But every time we're in the studio, Jude, our dog, right at the top of the hour, comes over and looks at me.
Yeah.
How does he know what time it is?
Because he wants to go for a CARRIDE.
I know, but how does he know it's exactly?
Yeah, he knows
noon?
it's noon. It's
weird.
He knows
got
exactly what time it is all the time.
Got an Apple Smart Collar.
How can some dogs
He's just
detect
a smart-
cancer in people?
Yeah, they do. They detect cancer in
Yeah,
people. Some
they
of them
do.
It's true.
Diabetes, everything. Yeah.
All right, boys, we're going to head home in a couple of minutes, but thank you. But keep calling in. I love talking to people from around the country and getting their views on things.
Absolutely,
All right,
Tommy.
will do.
Anytime.
Thanks, boys. I appreciate
All
it.
right, go Twins.
I love it.
Yeah, we're
Got
gonna
my
go-
Twins hat on.
We're gonna
man.
go. We're gonna go to the game today.
I forgot to put mine on this morning. Dang it!
Put it on tomorrow.
My terminal manager here in Spartanburg, South Carolina's brother played for the Twins in 1986.
Really?
Wow.
What was his name? Something. I don't know. We just call him DB.
DB.
His initials.
Dead
I can't
body?
remember he got mad at me because I called him Robert Goulet behind his back. Only he was standing behind my boss.
Oh, does he look like Robert Goulet?
Exactly like Robert Goulet.
Well, he shouldn't be too hard to track down then.
Well,
it was super funny.
Was his name Dennis Burt?
Maybe.
That's the only DB on the 1986 Twins
Do
roster.
you have a photo? Does he look like Robert Goulet?
No, his brother looks like Robert Goulet. I can't remember his brother's name. The terminal manager is DB.
Oh, okay.
Robert something.
Randy Bush?
Randy Bush.
No.
Not Randy
Could've
Bush.
been, but I gave him a hard time though. I said you had to get your brother kicked off the team before they won the World Series, huh?
I'm sure that went over well.
Oh, that wasn't Randy Bush. He was on that team. All right, boys, we got to go. We'll talk to you soon, though.
One more thing real quick.
Yes, sir.
Does anybody else find it disturbing that when he says DB, I think deadbeat, Catherine goes right to dead body?
That's what it is on all the crime shows.
Yeah.
Found a DB.
I went to douchebag usually.
Douchebag, yeah, that's true.
I watch way too
All
many
right.
crime shows.
That is going to do it. We will talk to you tomorrow.